And we are live. Welcome to The Last Word. Lord Cognito, any Bontis, fresh on that Friday night campfire, or Thursday night. What am I talking about? Thursday evening campfire with Ty Guy, Travis, and the crew. Let's start with E. How we doing, sir?
Doing good. I've officially crossed the 100-hour mark in Elden Ring.
Damn.
Wow.
Yep. Level 142.
Casual.
I'm getting up there. So
Okay.
I beat, not in-game level, I almost beat the Fire Giant last night, which is a whole thing. And I know that's kind of like an event towards, I'm getting to the end part. We're getting there. So enjoying that one. And I will definitely say, currently shopping for a mattress. And you okay, so you're like, all right, there's Purple, there's Tempur-Pedic, and you go online and you search, and then you've heard of Casper, and then there's, Lisa, and I've like heard of different ones through podcast advertisements. And then I was like, okay, I've heard of these. You go to websites and top mattresses for like 2022, and then I put out a tweet. I was like, hey, I've heard of these mattresses. Does anybody have any recommendations? I think I had like 7 brands in there. Now that I'm done with the tweet, I think I have 14 brands to pick from. It is... And honestly, they all seem to be about the same. If you get the hybrid with some coils, about 7 different layers of memory foam, a cooling thing, they all end up being about the same. So I just got to eventually decide on one. But ours is just finally getting to the point where I'm like, it's probably time. So looking into the world of mattresses. But yeah, did the final raid challenge this week. So done all raid. I don't think I've ever done the raid challenges in Destiny 2. Much of them. Wow. So that's completely my bad. Shout out to Gaming Forte. Welcome to the Last Word Podcast, episode number 193. I'm ready for another great conversation on the campfire, so let's get right into it. Love you guys. Same to you, Forte. Back at you, sir.
Yeah,
thank you for the super chat. But yeah, just, playing Destiny, playing Elden Ring, and doing a little spring cleaning, and apparently, home shopping stuff, which is just hurts your head sometimes. What about you, Travis? What are you doing?
I have been absolutely buried in IGN work. I've got a review going live on Monday that we've been working on this week. I got a preview going live next week at some point that I've been working on. A raid guide that I'm trying to finish with Destin, but he's super busy, so he doesn't have time. Just buried in projects, and basically last week I played a lot of games, and this week I've just been writing about games. I haven't really played games all this week. I have a little bit of Destiny. I'm gonna do my my Iron Banner this week, but yeah, it's just been a super busy week. I'm here alone at my house all week, so I've just made it like the ultimate productivity week for me. Just like smashing through like 18 hours of work every day. So it's been cool, but we're excited to talk about Destiny.
Yeah, man.
And the 12. The 12.
Yeah, man. Same thing as Travis. It's been an insane 2 weeks. This week, not as bad as last week, but because last week was crazy. Clearly, I missed. But yeah, man. This week, just been kind of catching up, doing shows. Has a great DDU with Travis, who came through talking about freelancing and in journalism. Fantastic perspective. Shout out to Ty. Shout out to Maddie. Really cool show. I would advise people to check that out. And then as far as on the gaming side, shout out to the crew. Shout out to Forte and the crew and Sinister and everybody, DJ. We got some raids done. I got my Divinity finally.
Hey.
I've been putting it off for so long.
See, that I like, because you could be like, I'm going to go get Divinity, and guess what? It's done. It's not like I could run 3 VOGs for 12 weeks in a row and not get it. So I approve of the Divinity. Nice.
Yeah. So we did Divinity. It was kind of like a little raid special. We did that. We tried to do Last Wish to not get me 1K for the 1 millionth time. I'm getting into Travis territory with 1K. It's just to the point where it's just like, I'm just running it because they want me to run it. And I know
don't
I'm
have it either, but I'm so far behind attempts on you. So yeah, I'm working.
Yeah. That one's a hard one to not have to, because that raid is so damn long.
So thankfully, they get the checkpoints to try to get me through that. We rocked that out. I got to run Vow this week. I haven't run it yet, but I did I stuck in some banner, a lot of banner last night. So I got a lot to talk about that. And yeah, man, that's been pretty much it. What about you? And we get this amazing guest that's been very patient.
Indeed. So shout out real quick to Necromancer Zale. Cog, show me your Warlock build. You're going to have to tweet this out, apparently.
That's really, my Warlock build right here.
Oh.
You don't see that? That's my Warlock.
Looks like a Titan.
Got that storm collar.
You don't see that Void 3.0?
Oh my god.
I think you look like a Titan, Cock.
Yeah,
Yeah, very
you-
tight. You know, we strong warlocks over here.
I was like, the male Titan still does not look like that. Or the male Warlock does not look like
The
you.
male
Yeah.
warlock doesn't like that.
The,
Oh, you got
the
you
male
wouldn't-
Titan
You
has those shoulders that are
tight
like
robes.
the male Titan has shoulders like out to here, and then you could put like a little Warlock up on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Look, man,
Yeah,
warlocks
Cock,
lift,
Cock,
bro.
Cock, how you gonna fit a bond around those biceps? Come on, there's no way.
You
not gonna be able to do that.
And the arm like this.
We're
Anyway,
gonna
Enough of our
need
foolishness.
we're gonna need a custom fit bond work here for Cognito, please.
Yeah.
So, E,
I'm gonna leave the joke out about custom bondage, but I'll let you guys take that one.
yeah, we definitely leaving that one out. We can't blow up the
Anyway.
sponsorship.
Welcome to The Last Word, episode number 193. The Disciple has thrown all the challenges it has. LEGO may have just released the ultimate Skywalker experience, and No Man's Sky is the game that continues to surprise us all. The world of video games continue to keep us entertained, and our guest was lucky enough to have a mom who helped him pick up his first controller many years ago. Starting out gaming on the SNES is like having your first movie be award-worthy. You can't help but get hooked like many of us did. A man with true respect for the epic platformer games, which shows us he enjoys both a tough challenge and immense satisfaction that those bring out in all of us. The desire to face something difficult and tackle it head on is really the only way this man knows to be. 2 teammates and a grandmaster go down, that's fine. He's going to take a deep breath and finish Festering Core solo for that grandmaster clutch up in 20 minutes by himself. Why stop there? He just steps into a grandmaster ring on his own and makes easy work of these nightfalls that many of us fear to go in with a group. So let's welcome a member of Clan Masanko, distinguished consumer of advanced UG like many of us, in-game soloist and also clutch teammate, and honestly one of the nicest, most humble guys in gaming, the one, the only, SabeTheBlade. I mean, SabeTheBlade. Welcome. It's our pleasure to have you join us. How you doing, Sabe?
I'm doing all right. Just chilling. Just got done helping another gamer get his conqueror today.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was a 50-year-old guy. He was an awesome dude.
That's my generation. You gotta go slow with us.
You're not 50 yet. You don't have
I
to
got
round
you.
that high.
Hey, 0 revives, I got you.
Woo! That's what's up. Yeah, man, good to have you, man. It's really cool
Mhm.
seeing the content and stuff like that. So we got to talk about this gaming prior. I see some very unique titles and stuff like that. So just from the beginning, like briefly, you know, some of the things that really just got you into gaming in general.
Oh no, like for me, it's just like I said. I was like, as a child, like my mother was a gamer. Like
Oh, okay.
she always played like Mrs. Pac-Man and stuff like that.
Mm.
And I remember on like
awesome.
Christmas Day, I was like 5. It was like 1994. Like she got me an SNES and got me the All Stars and I like one of the first games I played was Super Mario Brothers 3. I still love that game.
Oh, that's still epic.
Like I just love platformers. And then as I got like older, I've been more into like the FPS and all that other stuff. I mean, with a little splash of like racing games, something like a Need for Speed or something.
Nice.
Okay.
Do you play like Need for Speed Underground, Hot Pursuit? What
Oh
are we
yeah,
talking
Need for
about?
Speed Underground 2. That is like
Okay,
my all-time
that's-
favorite Need
yep.
for Speed.
That's the one.
Nice.
So for platformers, just wanted to kind of go into that a little
Mhm.
more. I know you played like Mario 3, Super Mario World,
Mhm.
the epic ones.
Mhm.
Any modern platformers that have like pulled you in or sucked you in? Because there's some very good ones these days as well.
I will be lying if I said I didn't play any other platformers.
Oh, you haven't played any in a while?
Well, like in a while. Like
Yeah.
it's just been Destiny.
Hey, nothing wrong with
Is
that.
Destiny
Sometimes-
count as a
with that.
platformer?
It gets its hooks into all of us at some point, a little more than others.
Mhm. Nice. Trav, you want to jump in?
Yeah, so you said that you have been on the FPS chain for a while, or less FPS.
Oh
train
yeah.
for a while?
Like one of the first my first one, like it was probably like the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Like
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah,
and like
Call of Duty 4.
but
Modern
I wasn't
Warfare?
like competitive or anything. It was just like, it was just like a game I like playing. And then obviously MW2 came, that was cool and stuff like that. But then like one of my favorite series in the Call of Duty franchise is the Black Ops series because
Mm,
especially Black Ops 2, all time favorite game of mine.
classic, classic.
Okay.
I used to just run in there with a bacon Remington,
Woo.
running people over. So.
Nice, the perk system, the pick 10 and all that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I felt like
Mhm.
that pick 10 was like some of the best that they have in the game, at least in my
Mhm.
opinion. So
Yeah, that changed the game. It made it different from. It felt like a different experience from the Modern Warfare series. They added their own spin to it, so I feel you on that.
oh yeah, like those was like one of those games I was just like so hooked into until Destiny.
Hmm.
Well, speaking
Nice.
of Destiny, you got to give us the story. How'd you get into it? What was the first time you played? Were you one of the I'm a
Oh,
Destiny alpha, or how long you been
okay.
playing? And what you
You know
let's hear
what?
the story.
Okay, yep. I got you. Cause I remember like it was like day one.
Woo.
So I actually was not playing the game for Destiny. I literally bought. I just got off of quitting Yu-Gi-Oh. I used to play that
Oh,
like
Okay.
for many years. I used to
Mhm.
play it competitively.
Boy, Addict
Saw
plays
my
that.
cards, and I bought this PS4 with Destiny as a special edition. I was like, oh, and I think Call of Duty Advanced Warfare was coming out that year,
Mhm.
and I'm just like, oh, I could just play this game until Destiny, come out.
Mhm.
Till
Call of Duty.
Advanced Warfare, and I'm out of here. So,
Oh, it was a placeholder for you.
woo, it was a placeholder. Yes, it was.
Until
Okay,
Advanced
okay,
Warfare.
okay.
But rating, mm, I tell you, rating was a thing that got me playing in this game. But at a time I did, but not to like go too short on it. But yeah, I literally got it. My literally got it. Just my main is Hunter, so I picked Hunter first. I
Oh,
was
you
like,
got a
ooh, a
hunter
cape.
there.
I was
Okay.
like,
He said, "Ooh, a cape."
I mean,
I cannot, I
superheroes.
cannot. I was like, ooh, I could become a cape champion. I was like, I didn't want to be no big old Titan or no.
You made a good decision. Don't worry about that. I mean, you could have went Warlock, but look, you wanted to be sleek. You want to get your cape on. You want to be stealthy. I got you.
I know. I mean,
Mhm.
but nowadays I'm playing like all three of them, and I just love playing them. So,
Mhm.
um, but yeah, I think like when I did try to go back to the series, I wasn't a
Mhm.
fan of where the game went, and
Okay.
I fully just went on Destiny because it was because like the story and the overall gameplay is nothing like it. I mean,
Very unique.
you're going around in Crucible, shooting your weapons and all these little abilities and stuff. That's what originally drew me personally.
Good point.
Um, but rating was a thing that I still continue to do and I love to do just
Nice.
simply because like especially nowadays I go and like go out of my way to like make sure a lot of my friends and community members get their stuff done because I could tell you I didn't know what a sherpa was for the first
Mm.
time, and I met one in D1, but he was like one of those toxic sherpas. And
Oh,
I, w-
stay on the plate. Why you
I was
ain't?
gonna say that's not
What are
really
you
a
doing?
Sherpa, but that's
yeah yeah
fair.
yeah 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 no, he posted like a sherpa because I used to use
Yeah.
LFG a lot
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't really have like no friends to play the game and stuff like that, so usually solo. So
Mm-hmm.
I remember getting kicked out of that group.
Ooh,
Yep, and I found out what a Sherpa was, and that person wasn't a Sherpa.
Yeah.
real
So
talk. That's real
I
talk.
used to spend like my endless times going to like patrols and doing bounties and
Spin metal farming.
yep, pretty much. And a lot of people don't know that you need materials to level things up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like
So what was your
but
what was
I remember that fateful day, like like some a random person, like 'cause I started on PlayStation 4, so
Okay.
I got the invite to I accepted it because I ain't have any friends, and I already done like the story. I was level 20. And back in the day you couldn't get to level 30 unless you played Ball of Glass Hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Um and and I think that was like the only place you get the helmet. But
Mhm.
I remember going with this person. This person was very grateful, and then
Mhm.
he introduced me to another. He introduced me to another Sherpa, and at this time I was just like, I don't want to go through that again because like my
Yeah.
experience,
Yeah.
that experience almost made me quit Destiny in a
Mm.
way. Like
Mm.
um so after that, I mean I told him the experience I didn't want to do it. It was a guy named Tro 57. I remember his name dearly because
Mm.
he was the person that taught me everything in D1. So
Nice.
Dope. Shout out to Trophy
um
57.
yeah, yeah. He literally carried me through Vault of Glass for my first time. And I
Mhm.
saw what rating was,
Woo.
and I wanted to be, like he took me under his wing and taught me everything about the game, and now I just help people, so
Mhm.
um
I just want to stop you for a second because I think it's a powerful story. I'll give it to you, E, because I know you had a question.
mhm.
But I think it's important that you said that because we share very similar experiences. That as far as not almost willing to quit Destiny until the raid, right? And then learning about the raid and then getting that experience. So obviously you had a negative experience at first with the Sherpa, but then you ended up having a positive one with someone that kind of took you under the wing. So my question is, once you now are in this raid, right, and you're experiencing it, and like for the first time, like what was it? I know what it is for me, what raiding means to me, but I wanted to know what was the excitement? Was it just the puzzles, the encounters? Was it the drops? Like, what was it about raiding that made you fall in love with that aspect of Destiny?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like,
Mm.
like because I know there's like raids in like other games, and stuff like that. But I never been. I guess like being with a group of people trying to do puzzles and finding like a mechanic to beat on a big old boss and getting like cool loot was
Yeah,
what got me into raiding. And
dope.
I remember doing reset every week, doing 3
Hmm.
raids every week, and doing even more if I need to. So, but yeah,
Nice,
yeah.
nice. E, you had a question?
Yeah. Well, as we're talking about raids, and that definitely is one of the big pieces of your kind of experience, and definitely one of the things you enjoy doing outside of some other in-game stuff. Obviously, we'll get to here in a little bit. But
Hmm.
as for raids, have you? So you've been playing since D1. Is there any raid you haven't done in the Destiny franchise, or have you done them all?
Oh, I did them all.
Okay. So now the question is, we got to know your favorite 3 raids: number 1, number 2, and number 3.
Ooh,
Oh,
we starting trouble early.
Got to do it.
woo.
If this
We
is like, hey, his raids hooked me, I got in
All
here.
right. Well,
So
all
we got to
right.
go
I gotta.
we got to go top 3 raids.
top 3.
Oh, okay. My top 3 raids is Val Disciple. I absolutely do love the
Ooh.
fact that we're not just sitting in a well and bubble and just killing a boss, because I feel like most raids you're just sitting in one place with our buffs and debuffs together.
Good
And the
point.
fact that this guy literally kicks the crap out of people and dashes at them, like that is like some of the coolest thing I ever seen Bungie ever done. So then we go to
So Val's number 1.
Last Wish, you know,
Whoa. Let Travis
Okay.
though. Say it again and explain to Travis why.
uh-oh.
We're not.
I'm sorry,
we
Joe.
doing
I'm sorry,
that?
Joe. I'm
We,
sorry.
we, we
I'm
don't need to
sorry,
do
Joe. I'm
that.
sorry, Joe. I gotta spice it up. Damn it.
But this is without ribbon cheese, by the way, because like
Okay,
I
legit.
feel like
Hardcore.
if that was not there, like I feel like that would have been like the best rate for me. But like,
Mm.
but no, but the fact that we're fighting like a big old wish dragon, and it had like it's the most like mechanically driven, and that's pretty
Mm.
much the reason why I like Last Wish.
Pure mechanics.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I do love mechanic heavy raids.
Yeah.
That's just um no hate to and then Crown of Sorrows. Oh,
Wow. Break
We've heard that a couple
down.
times recently. Yeah. What's
Yeah,
up? So
some
why
crown
is
love.
crown number 3? We got to know.
oh, okay. So number 3, it's just I think it's like just like the second to last encounter and then a boss. The way like we out here just killing stuff to get a I guess you go inside the if I remember correctly, like you go inside the thing, you get like the buff and like it's more like team coordination in a
Yeah.
way. So
Yeah.
It's that
that's pretty.
I kind of get a feeling it's like the whole trading back and forth the buff and the synergy of you of this one,
Mhm.
everybody get ready, rotate it over, and has that it when it's a well-oiled machine, I can
Mm.
definitely see why. Because
Mhm.
when it's smooth, it's good, but if you're learning it, man, it's chaos. It's just
Yep.
absolutely a mess. But yeah, if it's smooth and
Oh,
you got a good people to run
I
it with,
definitely love doing that flawless. That was like my favorite flawless rate.
ooh, that's there you go.
Okay. Salute.
Yeah, I used to do it all the time. Get people to their shadow titles.
Mhm.
That
Get
was
them
that was always
titles.
a cool title. I was like, I like
Mhm.
the name of that title. I was like, I
Oh,
kind of gave
and
up getting that one,
I
but it was
knew
cool.
King's Fall was gonna come out. King's Fall is a great.
The King's Fall people gave him Forte in the chat. He is like
Yeah.
King's Fall. He with you though. The people are saying Crown was unique. They're saying it,
Yeah.
man. Say they
Mhm.
people giving some Crown a lot of love now. Now that it's
I
gone.
mean, that first encounter was rough, but everything else was great.
Yeah, the opening was that was my day one experience. It was like I think it was like 6-7 hours in that opening encounter. We just couldn't get Pyatt because it was just like a
Mhm.
random group thrown together. I don't remember who was there at the time, but that opening encounter, it was just long enough. And especially like ammo economies and stuff back then were not quite the same. If you weren't used to working together and those types of things, Crown was a struggle for sure. But I mean, Vow has definitely set a good bar between. I mean, we talked about this. It's definitely jumped really high on my list because, as you said, final boss where you're not standing still, amazing aesthetic. It's got the dungeon
Mhm.
feel where you start and you can see where you're going in the end once you get to that ending encounter. And then you got like a balance of mechanics and bosses. And some people would say it's not enough bosses, but I was like, that's kind of a debate. But I was like, overall for me, it's like I understand the Rolk fight really has made whatever we get in the future something like to set a bar for. Yeah, because that
fair.
Rolk
That's
fight
fair.
is pretty impressive.
That is fair. I'll
Mhm.
give you that. No doubt. No doubt.
Looking forward to Master though, still. So
Mm-hmm.
I
Trav,
like,
you just gonna jump in?
I was just gonna say, I think everyone agrees that the Rolk fight is good, and I would agree that the Caretaker fight is really good.
That's my
But
favorite.
yeah, I think Caretaker's probably my favorite as
I
well.
love
Just 'cause
Caretaker.
it's got so much going on.
yeah, it's
Um,
literally just a boss for me because just seeing my fire teammates just like I don't know, it still makes me giggle that people still get kicked by him. So
Oh, on Rolk, yeah.
yeah,
mhm.
Just they built in the animation. Oh, you're down here, smack.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah. It's really the first and
Uh-oh.
third counter that I mostly have a problem with. I think Cog and I agree that the third encounter is pretty mid.
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
least.
We agree on
Oh, exhibition. Oh my god.
Yeah. I bet you that one's really hard to carry people
Very
through.
funny
Huh?
encounter is so hard to teach.
Yeah,
Yes.
you
Yeah,
like
I
that's
figure.
one where you need 4 people who like can trade and manage the rotation. If you have more than like 2 newbies, it's gonna be interesting, especially depending on what they have to do. There's too many important pieces to that one. But again,
Mhm.
and this is why raid experiences, and I'm just gonna like I had a good raid experience, and I've had good raid experience because I've had the team to play with a lot. Same thing as like when you go through Vault for the first time, like you did. You got to go through with friends and stuff, and those moments where you get to have like a really good experience and you get that well-oiled machine moment running, and that's when exhibition for us now it's just like bam 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 bam, and then all of a sudden we're done. There was one point where like we were playing and one of the guys had to go in like 20 minutes. And we were on exhibition, and it was like our second one of the day or whatever. And it was like time. We were on exhibition. We're like, all right, we got to like flawless this thing. And it was literally just a done. Got to roll, one phased it, bam, and just we went out. And it's like when you can run it smooth,
Oh,
it
it's
feels
great.
good though.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, because there's a lot of moving parts to it, and
Mhm.
I agree. But once that encounter is smooth, you appreciate it more.
Yep.
It's just like I said, there's a lot that could go
It's,
wrong.
it's a lot to teach. It's like
Yeah.
if it's smooth, it's
Yeah.
good. If it's teaching, it's a headache. So I totally get that.
No
For
doubt,
sure.
no doubt.
Mm.
So
And
what
then
else
the
we
last
got?
thing I wanted to ask, just because it's kind of what we're in the season of right now, is grandmasters. So grandmaster nightfalls have been kind of a major challenge the Bungie's put in there. And we've had our discussion about if we do and don't like champions on all those pieces. But grandmasters are, for one of the ways I met you. Because you pulled
Mhm.
me through a very old Conqueror title in a couple days. We knocked out like 6. And that was cool. One of your
Yes, sir.
one of your favorite experiences that you've got is related to just like clutching up and then also soloing. So why for you have grandmasters become such like an integral part of your Destiny experience? Like what makes you enjoy them? Is there anything that you would change about them if you could? And then what's your favorite grandmaster that you've done? Maybe not like your that one, the first one, but like if you have a favorite nightfall, like kind of balance of challenge and fun.
All right. Well, I guess like I usually use like Grandmaster to like test certain weapons if they're actually okay to use or not. But I just enjoy it, especially solo, just for like to challenge myself because at first it was just like that first vid like where I had to fight a boss in Festering Core like
Oh.
for after the timer went out my teammates instantly died and then I had to deal with a Cyclops that can one shot me.
Yep.
Mhm.
The boss that can tether me and a bunch of Hive Knights. But yeah, I think at that point, because like I wasn't really into like GMs when I was doing it, but like that sudden rush that I have to just find the best build for myself was like a pivotal reason that I like doing the stuff solo.
Mhm.
So like I remember just shooting this boss for 20 minutes, just shooting my primary. I had no heavy, nothing. All I had was a super.
Woo,
And
damn.
I think it was like probably like 10%. I was like, you know what? I don't care. I literally popped super and I
Mhm.
almost got him. And then I just bowled
Bored him to death.
Yeah.
just bowled him to death and that sudden rush, I think when I did that day, it was just
Mhm.
unattended. I just didn't want to give up. That's just something that's something that's like about me is that like I just don't like giving up when the going gets tough because I dealt with tougher IRL
I
and
feel
I'm
you.
like it was a video game. I was like, I wonder if I can do this.
Mm.
And when I did do it, like that sudden rush um just told me like, hey, I should probably solo GMs one day. I was just so excited to do one, and um, so I guess one of the first GMs, and it is my favorite GM that I love doing.
Hmm.
When it comes around, it is Devil's Lair. So
Okay. Nice.
Okay. Nice.
yeah, so basically for the music and stuff like that. I remember just going in because I watch a lot of some solo videos from some content creators and I was like, you know what? I can probably do that too. So
Mhm. So the
I remember
esoteric so that he bought his video. I could do that.
yeah,
Like if it was a grandmaster, it wasn't
I
mine.
try so I remember just in there just struggling, but again, I just do not give up. Um I remember just going in there just and I was just like I feel like GMs has really like just put a highlight into like my career because
Mhm.
people see me do a lot of it and but I guess the one thing I will change is overloads because I feel like they are just one of the most inconsistent things to stun and I
Hmm.
usually
Mhm.
like when I'm helping people or just myself like when I'm just like helping people like myself, like I always fight to the Minotaur just smacking me, even though I'm shooting a divinity at him.
Yep.
Look, man, I don't even fight it no more. This is when I fell in love with stasis.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I can just freeze you. And you're gonna stop moving around. You're gonna stop instant energying. That I have such an appreciation for stasis when grandmasters and all that stuff came out, because I don't know how you do it, man. I don't know how normal people deal with this with powers of the light. Like, they are the most inconsistent, annoying thing, and then the hit doesn't register.
This season is honestly, I hope they either take feedback, listen, or if enough people can just scream it from the rafters. Overloads with auto and SMG, I hope it never happens again. It is the worst weapon for it. Like, barriers, unstoppables. I just personally think of the unstoppables or the overloads with auto and SMG is just not fun. Because you're usually, because I was just doing a random lost sector too, and you either have, as you said, a Minotaur chasing you. That's an overload. A knight that's usually trying to shoot you in the face multiple times, or it was actually taken hobgoblins that every time you shoot them and hit them, they hit back, and you're trying to hit them about 12 times to stun them with an auto rifle. And no, I just can't stand it. So I'm hoping, because like a bow, just tink, hand cannon, depending on the range, but like there are better options for overload. So I hope they don't do auto rifle and SMG again. Or give us some other exotic options, because right now the only one is Divinity. I mean, you've got other barrier weapons. We need more.
Because like even this season, I just do not. I mean, auto rifles I'm probably okay with, but SMG, if I'm not playing Aussie or Striga, I am not using any SMG overload.
Yeah, that's the only one.
It is very inconsistent, because I feel like, and that's the thing. Like, my favorite overload stunt is bow by
absolutely,
far.
yeah.
Just simply the Monarch, you just shoot him in the head one time, get a little emo, get your little exercise, and still get stunned.
Little tick damage go off. I feel
get a little cardio in between stuns.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, but as far as like the other champions, like they're not too bad. I mean,
yeah,
unstoppable. Unstoppables are just. Whew. When I look at unstoppables, they're just something just like, oh, this thing. All right, let me just stand out the way. Yeah, ran it over.
Well, they never get their health back. That's the big one.
Right,
Unstoppables don't. And then barriers, outside of like teleporting behind pillars and starting over, they're usually not as bad. So yeah, it's like I agree. Like overload's for sure the worst.
No doubt.
Yeah, like it's just a Minotaur, especially when I play Glassway.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Yep,
yeah.
I've seen people just like sitting up somewhere, just like waiting for their opportunity to work on summoning Glassway, and then you sneeze the wrong direction and you're dead. So
yeah,
I get that one.
Especially when the Minotaurs like two boom you, but like as far as like champions, I don't mind champions. I know why they're there. But it's just because I know they took a pass on overload SMG and auto, and I feel like it was just not enough.
No.
I
agree.
I just feel like there needs to be more things done, but that's why I've been using the Warlock boots.
Which one? Oh, those is amazing. Oh,
yeah. Must be nice to have the first class specific exotic that deals with champions.
Hey,
once again, those Warlocks.
No. The hunters have one. It's they don't use it, but it's Arthy's Embrace. So you just keep getting crits and you turn your throwing knife to unstoppable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Titans still don't have one, I guess is kind of my point.
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of stuff already. It's all time.
Oh yeah, I think Titans don't have one. I don't know if they do, but I know hunters have one. But people just didn't use it. But like I literally just put down a riff and then just shoot a Gallahorn and
it's overload. Everything whatever's in your head is overload as soon as that riff go down. Love it.
Yep.
Love it.
Yeah.
And devour. And to get devoured down.
Yeah, but I've been playing like.
Oh no, go ahead.
Let me hear you complain.
No, I think that's like the idea of This is what I want them to get to with champions, is more of a universal approach to them. Like some way to have, whether it's a class ability or certain things that is just a little more of a, you need to do something to phase said champion, but a much more universal approach to it, because
how about just an overload mod that isn't tied to any specific
exactly
weapon?
yeah just
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
so like more like a mechanic rather than using a mod.
Yeah, or I mean, I'm an advocate of them just getting rid of it altogether because I think it's stupid.
Oh, okay,
I
that's cool.
I just think like why anything that makes me go into my inventory in order to play better, I don't want in my game. Like this, it kind of reminds me of the problem with heavy ammo synths, right? It's like, what do you want to do? What's the last thing you want to do when you're in a raid? Oh, go into your inventory and use a consumable. Well, our entire ammo economy is built around that, and now you've got another part of the game where your entire ability to even beat an enemy is tied to you having a specific mod equipped. And uh, I would much prefer them just take the approach of introduce like challenging enemies like the light bearing hive. Like that's like a perfect example of what I think they
The
should be doing for
light-bearing
endgame
hive.
content.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're a formidable enemy that you have to like change your playstyle for, and they can stop you up and kill you in one shot. But they're not like, I don't have to go to my menu to kill them to crush their ghost. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to do something insane like that. So I wish they would do that, because I'm just over champions. It was a cool gimmick for one season, but it's been like multiple years of me dealing with these guys, and every season there's new rules about how exactly I kill them, and I'm sort of over it.
Yeah.
I feel that.
yeah. The other one, somebody Mike G said it in chat. He's like, barrier servitors shielding things around them, and it's that moment, and they haven't done it as, I haven't seen it as much, but, and again, believe me, I'm with Travis. It's like, make different enemies, don't just make these menu mod socket type enemies, which is, do this
Yeah.
thing, equip this one mod to be able to progress in this thing. It even says it in the damn directory before you boot the activity. But barrier servitors, when they would be shielding like an overload champion that you have to kill, and you're like, all right, so I'm being pummeled by this overload captain who's just constantly he never has to reload ever. What's your clip size? That's on infinite.
Oh,
Cool.
really
Good to know. And then you have to deal with the champion while you're being pummeled. And then when you break the shield, you're doing some damage to him. He gets back up, and then he teleports behind a wall. Then you got to start the process all over again. So,
Hey, while we're on the topic of annoying enemies, can we also maybe make the Scorn not be able to disappear for 45 minutes and file their taxes while they're invulnerable, and then decide to go back into the game and fight me when they feel like it? Can we chill with that maybe for a second?
And them scoring the sniper dudes that
they're like by frame rate, their damage is broken. Yeah, they said that.
Yeah,
but yeah, they are painful.
Mm-hmm. What else we got going on, Ian?
Yeah, so we got 2 ways to go. Oh, what were you gonna say?
I don't know. Oh, I didn't know if I would miss like a question about like my GM experience or anything.
As far as you killed that. I saw that clip, and I was just like, the whole team is dead. This man is running around fighting for his life.
Yes,
with this bow and hiding behind the rocks. They killing you about the rocks.
I still can't believe you popped your super and just went in for it.
Yeah. That was ballsy, and salute to you for that. That is someone that I get the mentality, because I'm not a GM person, but I understand.
If you hear what I say after after I did complete it, it's my alert.
You made your alert. I made your alert. That's what's up. No doubt. Yeah, I saw the clip, man. It was really cool, and I get it from pure challenge perspective. It's an adrenaline rush, especially as a solo player. When you solo that, it's insane. So I get it.
Yeah. So
I just want a little better reward, Sabe. That's all. For all that blood, sweat, and tears.
Because like for me,
you need a belt.
Because like to me, I always been like this solo player in this game,
Mhm.
where like I just if I don't have like people to play with, I like to show like my prowess, I would say. I mean, although I don't need to prove to anybody but myself, I just
flex that emblem, flex that solo.
I just want to see like what works and what doesn't work, and that's why I just keep going in every week.
No, fair
Now
enough.
I have a few souls under my belt, and some of them I still haven't done. But at the end of the day, like and of course, I love the loot inside of GMs.
Oh, this is the first. I need to hear this.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
This the
I can
part I'm
actually
here
talk
for.
about this because I know in the beginning of like
Mm-hmm.
when they first came out, they was just like ordinary nightfalls.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They gave out the same thing, and that's when
Mm-hmm.
Bungie put up that first patch where now you get like an ascended shard now,
Woo.
for every time you did it. And now that it basically incentivized myself to just keep going.
Mhm.
So like and then like GM's gotten to like a whole bunch of changes. So like when adepts wasn't like guaranteed, and then they start guaranteeing them.
Yeah, they increased the rate. Yep.
Yeah, like every time all you have to do is get platinum, complete it, boom,
Yep.
you get an adept and a shard.
Mhm.
And then who knows if you don't have like the mods for it yet. I mean, they give you adept mods.
Right.
But yeah, I love just going in because like my vault is always a mess in GM season because I have so many shards inside my postmaster.
Oh, you eating
And
good.
yep, and sometimes I forget to turn on farming mode and I lose shards. I mean, but yeah,
Mhm.
I would do this over any content in the game other than
Whoa.
raids, because
Whoa. Okay. 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 Over dungeons?
oh yeah,
Wow.
I love dungeons too. I love soloing
Okay.
dungeons.
Yeah.
Wow. This is a GM guy. I
Oh yeah, no,
respect this.
I think that first one hooked him, and then he got that solo in, and that's his
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. That's basically it. Like that first one, like I did was a fire team, and then I didn't know people solo GMs, and I got into that space, and I start loving it and doing it more. And another reason why I do this, like this is like more of a personal thing for me, is
Mhm.
that if I ever were to be in a zero life situation,
Mhm.
I know I can like do it
You can
because
clutch
I
up.
try to believe in myself and not try to be the angry person that gets mad at somebody that like
I feel
can't
that.
can't do it, like because
Mhm.
I have many people like that in my time. It's that, man, they just feel so sorry that they basically waste all the reses, and then I'm just sitting here like I got you, and
Yeah.
That's what's up.
It's nice to be, if you're trying to help people through something, it's nice to have the confidence knowing no matter what happens, you're gonna get through
Mhm.
it. And that's
Yeah,
actually
because
that's really
like
good.
I guess like if I do my best to make sure they're as comfortable as possible, then yeah, because I remember I have just one person, I won't name him, but like
Mhm.
he was
Just an awful experience.
like in my head, like we was doing what was it? It was GM. Oh, it was Devil's Lair. He was cr- he was literally crying.
Oh my
I
gosh.
felt so
Oh
bad.
wow.
And because and he was just telling me, I'm like, it's okay, I got you.
Mm.
And I remember um I remember just the boss was at last health, and I was playing Titan at the time.
Mhm.
Um, and this was like off stream. I didn't tell nobody this story. This is
Mm.
something that I kept. But this I remember I guess like Cephix,
Mhm.
he one shot at me. Cause like there's like a corner inside of that room where I get to stand in and
Yeah.
kill all the ass.
Yep.
And
That's that.
that's how you manage that room. And
Mhm.
I remember I was one shot trying to shoot every single one of my every single one of my snipes and my bows,
Mhm.
and I just thunder crashed and did it.
Damn.
Wow.
I
Wow.
was,
And
I
you
was,
said
I was,
I'm sorry. Yeah.
yeah, and he was just so thankful, and it like he was, you know, and it made me smile knowing that I helped that guy
Yeah.
finish it, and
Salute to you. Salute to
Yeah.
you. You're doing a good thing. And at the end of the day, there's a side of the community. Destiny's a game that does require a lot of activities to have friends. And there's a side of the community that you're highlighting that is real, which is there is a toxic elitist side sometimes that doesn't want to help or wants to put down people who can't complete something. And you can tell what you did for that player, your fellow guardian. He was appreciative because he probably in his heart said to himself, and I've been there before where you're like, I'm never going to get that activity done. So it's just never going to happen. I throw my hands up, and forget it. And I remember, like, for me, was like dungeon. He was like, I remember it was a shattered throw. I was like, I ain't never getting that. Don't worry about it. He was like, no, come on, I got you. And I was like, all right. He was just had me in the backpack. He's like, all right, Cog, stand there. Do this. Okay, we're going to go over here. We're going to shoot this. I was like, for real? We're going to do this? Like, and I just, because for me, there's certain content that I know that I just got to be honest, I am not skilled enough to be able to do it on a certain level. So that's where a good Sherpa comes in. And what you're doing is very important because it gives people confidence and makes them happy that, I could acquire some loot. And you help somebody out.
I want to talk about the whole Sherpa topic because, like, cause I seen my fair share, and I have to constantly remind myself to man, just keep a level head, when like helping people because at times, I did make mistakes, so. I just want to let you know I am human,
Yeah, it happens. You can yell at me and say, "Yo, Kyle, what the hell was you doing?" I'm just joking.
Yeah, I mean,
that's cool.
But yeah, like like
everybody gets frustrated.
Yeah, I was like, everybody's gonna have the moments, and everybody's gonna have
yell
those...
at me all the time.
Oh, for sure. You ever want to?
But yeah, but as long as I know that to keep them calm and just like and I tell people all day, I mean, I shoot a lot of drags. I will get you through this.
No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever want a really challenging endgame activity, I recommend trying to do literally any activity in Destiny with Destin Legary.
Oh,
that has broken some of the best.
Yo,
that is
Destiny Legary.
Destin Legary,
chat.
From Fireteam Chat. He's one of my coworkers, and yeah, he'll make the activity 1,000 times more challenging. So recommend that if you ever get to that point.
So my clan giving me crap for it.
Yeah, I know they're giving you a hard time in there.
Look, I there's certain things I accept that I'm not as good as others in. So I know my strengths, and I try not to have ego. My job, and I think Trav, me and you had this discussion, is kind of lighten the mood. Right? Lighten the mood. We know we're doing something difficult. We know it's a raid one, day one or whatever. And that's what you do. But I appreciate what you're saying about Sherpa. It's something that people don't talk about. So I really appreciate what you're doing in the community for that. It's pretty dope.
So before we get into the TWAB, which was one I was actually excited to, except one moment where I literally stopped mid-sentence, but we'll get to that because Travis is going to have a very fun, entertaining moment. But before we get to there was a tweet that was put out, and DMG actually had a little thread to follow, and I just kind of wanted to get your guys' thoughts as of playing a decent amount of Iron Banner, where Crucible's at. I know we've all had some Iron Banner experience recently, just to kind of see, because I know some people have been asking this a lot. It gets asked basically every season it comes up, and finally they were just like, yo. Somebody named Game Sager, don't know who it is, somebody on Twitter, I'm willing to bet literally anything that arena shooters are dead and the implementation of skill-based matchmaking 2.0 are identically correlated. Arena shooters aren't bad. The games themselves are great. Were the most popular for decades. It's the matchmaking that have killed them. And DMG finally just was like, all right, I'm going to respond. And he got out here and was just like, hey, just to keep the record straight, we literally turned off skill-based matchmaking in the majority of Crucible playlists multiple years ago. This was thanks to feedback from high-skill players. We now have more negative sentiment around matchmaking than ever before. This is not only coming from high-skill bands, but many in low-skill bands who are frequently matched against players way out of their punching weight. How I feel sometimes in my solo trials experiences. New players are thrown into the fray with little to no experience in the game system. There is indeed valid feedback to the team in team distributions here. Never feels great to have lobbies balanced in such a way where your entire team has a negative KD while yours is high. That said, without skill-based matchmaking, the system cannot perfectly allocate skills across teams. We're passing the feedback up, and the team is looking at future opportunities for improvements, but I wanted to be clear. We do not use skill-based matchmaking in the majority of Crucible playlists. We check this every season when players ask if it was turned on. It was not. And then Frosty, I guess it's Frostbolt. In regards to the negative sentiment, yeah, because I can match because the matchmaking is just worse. But we can't ignore the other issues that make PvP feel worse. Experienced them before. Imbalances in PvP, no content. It's easier to complain about matchmaking though. So, I mean, people like fall off on a tirade of things like that. But the big thing is, I go through and play Trials freelance. And it's nice. I hope freelance is something that gets to be more and more permanent because I know they're putting it in rotation more. It's nice that I can go in and have the solos and not be against a 3-stack. And then this weekend was an interesting topic with the confidence card, getting a depth loot, even though you weren't flawless, which is a debate for another day. But mostly I just wanted to see what your guys' experience were with basically just any PvP that you guys play in Destiny. How it feels when you jump into Iron Banner and freelance, and like one time you're going to go 150 to 75, one time you're going to go 75 to 150, and another time it's like 149 to 150. Sometimes you get those even matches that are like sweaty the whole way through, and you're like, this actually seems like it was balanced. At other times, you're either getting stomped or you're doing the stomping, and when it rains, it pours. Even when I'm an okay player, and then all of a sudden when other people are doing well, I'm getting more kills too. So it's like I even had a damn good guy. I had a 3.25 KD, and I'm like, I'm not that good, but just like everybody was dying on the other team, so it just happens that way. I just wanted to kind of get your guys' thoughts on. I know skill-based matchmaking is this, very crazy thing to talk about. In general, it always tends to open a whole big can of worms. But I was curious.
Why?
I don't know why it does because
yeah.
So I was like, well, Trav. So that's what I was gonna say.
Let Trav go. He's ready.
Yeah.
Would you guys like to see any, some, none, all? Where do you guys feel like skill-based matchmaking? Do you feel like it belongs in Crucible, and if so, where and to what extent? So anybody wants to take it?
Good
Yes, I'm just gonna go off here. Yes, skill-based matchmaking should be in PvP. It should be in every mode. It should be in every game in every mode. And I think people just have bad memories of Destiny. Has a lot of problems with the way that it does lobby balancing and matchmaking in the past, but that doesn't mean that the systems are wrong. It just means that maybe they haven't gotten the exact formula right or whatever. But the idea behind skill-based matchmaking as a philosophy should exist, because there's there's basically two things that can happen. One, you can do skill-based matchmaking and you can get a lobby of people that you think are all roughly the same skill level, and then you can try to put them on teams and make them fight each other. And the result is typically that you will end up with a pretty close match because everybody in the lobby is in the same level of skill. The alternative is you do not have any sort of skill-based matchmaking, and then the lobby has just a whole bunch of different power levels. And the problem with when you put all those different power levels as one lobby is that it becomes impossible to balance that lobby. The distances between the skills are so high that when you try to sort people and you do the dodgeball draft pick, right, then you end up with people who are like, this person on my team sucks and this person on my team's a god, and it just makes it wild. And so I think you need skill-based matchmaking to make the lobby manageable, because another thing people complain about all the time is, lobby balancing is terrible in Destiny. Well, of course it's terrible. It can't be good unless you have skill-based matchmaking.
That's a good point.
Impossible. You're asking them to fix. You're saying, hey, I don't want skill-based matchmaking, but damn, your lobbies suck. It's like, of course they suck. It's impossible. You're basically just like, drawing people out of random pools in life and putting them on a baseball team. Sometimes you're going to get, an MLB player, and sometimes you're going to get your grandpa across the street. And that isn't how
Shout out to Grandpa though.
But that's not how you do a game of pickup basketball. People have to show up to the court, and I feel like the way that they're doing it is insane to me. So if your problem is with skill-based matchmaking, but you think that they should balance lobbies better, you're living in a dream world. That's never going to happen. You need skill-based matchmaking to make the lobbies even close to attainable. So I get why people push back on it. It sucks if you're really good and you're only playing against other people who are good, but there's ways around that. You can do ranking systems. You can have, certain modes like trials where it's based on your where you're at in your card. There's other things to do, but philosophically, there's no way to balance a lobby without skill-based matchmaking. And that's why Destiny's lobbies feel so bad, and everybody feels it. So that's my rant.
No, it's a valid point. I'm actually Not too far off from you. I've never been anti-skill based matchmaking. The issue is this, and we gotta be real as a community, right? A lot of times when it was in place, which I don't mind, it's just that it would affect certain people in certain regions based on their connection. And I think that's where some of the vitriol and the pushback came back. So the DMGs, Dylan in those points, they were like, look, you guys as a community said you didn't want this.
Yeah.
You guys as a community said the connections are terrible. Prioritize connection over everything. So they did.
Yeah.
And he told you. So if they did, and he told you, and the connections for the most part are great, you can't complain now that, the lobby, I mean, for the most part, you know what I'm saying?
It's like, I have some weird
For the most part. But you know what I'm saying? Over compared to how it used to be. But you can't complain like, why are they matching me with this? Or why my team sucks? Or why they because it's not on a skill-based system. So theoretically, is there a way they could do, but I'm not a developer. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they can incorporate some type of hybrid for that.
You absolutely can, and I think connection should always be a factor. The question is, is it the determining factor?
Right.
Is it the biggest factor? And I think sometimes Bungie finds itself in a tough position because their player base is spread out.
Correct.
Sometimes it's large, and
the
sometimes
playlist.
it's small.
Right.
And they've got so many playlists, and I think that managing that is a challenge. But
that
is
to
solvable.
me is the question. Yeah, that to me is the fair question by the community. Is if you can do that from an algorithm standpoint and make it fair on both sides. The only thing I would say because I just look at Halo, right? The only time there's only one scenario where I don't want skill-based matchmaking, and that's like in a quick play / mayhem scenario where it's not
mayhem. I get quick play is a little different.
Where it's not. This is just come in, have fun, get your little 3 matches of Pinnacle or whatever and go on with your business. But if we're doing Iron Banner, if we're doing trials, in my opinion, it should exist. The players should be matching up against players of similar skill. And to me, it's supposed to be the competitive mode. So I don't understand the frustration.
That's where I differ from you is quick play is an experience they shove you to every single person who jumps into this game. We already talked about the new player experience being questionable at best. You come into this game as a new player and you are already pretty lost generally most of the time. And you're like, hey, here's Crucible. I think this is the PvP thing. Here's the big thing in the middle that is control. And if they are new, probably don't have a great loadout, don't know their abilities that well, definitely don't know synergies and mods and anything else, they go in and there's no skill-based matchmaking at all. And you take that player, we're going to put them as a number 1 for skill. And then you've got any content creator I can think of, they're sitting up there at 10, 11, 12, just God tier skill. And somehow those two are in the same match and they're on the opposite sides of the ball. And they have the worst experience getting stomped on. And they see somebody go like 40-0,
right.
As I literally see tweets of that happen every so often. That is the point to where I think some needs to be even in quick play. Now, again, the hybrid, connection, as Travis said, needs to be a factor. But it's like
why shouldn't it be on all modes?
Well, it's like, but maybe not quite as extreme. Like Iron Banner, is almost what we would like Iron Banner and then Trials. And if we can ever get comp, to a tighter skill, takes a little longer to find matches. Everybody was always worried about these matchmaking times. I'm like, if you take 1 or 2 more minutes to get a match, but that 10-minute match is much more enjoyable. Aren't you going to enjoy that more?
But that's the problem. And to push back on your pushback was that they do this, and then the connection's not good. Oh, it takes too long to get in the match. So it's like the community, they can't have it both ways.
Well, I get that. Believe me, I understand that the community at some point is going to have to give and be like, we got a little. And what I was trying to say is something in quick play, you just don't there should not be outliers. A 1 should not be sharing with the 10. 1 through 6 or 7 and a range in between there. But if a brand new person should not face a true Vanguard in the same match for a good while, those should not even be in the same game. Because if you're fighting against them, it's that's not going to be fun for that person. And it's okay, wait a little bit longer and fight. And again, if it's there's not that many playlists right now. We haven't introduced that many modes. You've got Clash.
There are enough, though, because I would say, to Cog's point of they can't have it both ways, well, they could. The question is it worth it? What if quick play was 1 button? that just put in all the modes. So sometimes you get Scorch and sometimes you get
I would like
Control.
that too.
And like, what if they did that? What if
Increase the base?
They could do that to kind of put all the modes in one bucket. That's actually kind of how Halo does it. They have fewer playlists, but there's more modes in like one of their playlists, and that keeps all of the player base in kind of one area. So I think they could do it. It's just a question of like, what are their player counts? Is the only way to do it to put them into one mode, or is that worth it to them, or do they really care about PvP as a whole? I think those are the questions that, to me, that's the fact that they have a system that they know doesn't work. They said, hey, skill-based matchmaking has been turned off for several years, and it's now the complaints are worse than they've ever been, and they haven't changed it, right? Like, they are sort of admitting that this is the worst situation they've ever had, and they haven't changed it. And so I just think, I'm just glad they're talking about it, because to me, as soon as skill-based matchmaking turned off, I was like, are you insane? Like, why? Why would you do that? Isn't it always better if people are playing with people who are around their skill level?
They complained. I remember they were like,
"Oh, I know,
Bungie, it takes too long."
Here's the thing: players can complain. Sometimes they don't know what's good for them, though. Sometimes fans are just wrong. Sometimes fans are just wrong. And I mean, I love that Bungie listens to their community, but I'm a big fan of not listening to the community.
Bro, but I'm telling you right now, Travis, the connection, not to cut you, the connection stuff, I hear exactly what you're saying. I remember it was such vitriol they got because of the match times, and they were like, I don't want everything to be a sweat fest. I remember these talks, and they push hard on them.
Okay, can I say something about the I don't want everything to be a sweat fest thing?
Let's go.
It's elitist.
That's the short way to say it.
We doing that?
Yeah, it is. It was all streamers. It was all people that they shouldn't have been listening to. That's my perspective.
I'll keep it quiet. Y'all said it. Ooh, spicy. I get you. I'm sorry. No, I know where y'all going. I know where y'all going. And I'm with y'all.
Do it. Burn it down. Say it.
Listen.
No, it's like the idea that if you don't want a sweaty match, that likely means, not 100% of the time, but that likely means that you are a high-skilled player and you're going to be playing against people around your level that are also good and that are going to challenge you more frequently. But I was like, the one thing to say about that is the idea, you got to remember the other 75% of the player base or more that is now, if it's not skill-based, gets crapped on every match, because guess what? You and the high skill players are playing against people who are just worse than you. Straight up worse than you. About 75 to 80% of the players in your lobby are worse than you. And yeah, that's how you get to go 40-0 in a match, as opposed to, hey, things are a little bit tighter, more competitive. You got that 1.9, they got that 0.8 down here, and it's a little closer. If you have a 40-0, you probably just crapped on somebody's day and they quit the game for the day. They're just like, that dude killed me every time I woke up today, so I'm just going to shut it down. I'll try again later, maybe. Anyway, we've been ranting about this. I know, Sabe, you've been very quiet. I wanted to get your thoughts on this, because you've definitely done Flawless, Lighthouse, and I've seen your snipes and stuff. Where are you in all of this?
We got to hear this.
We got to know.
Educate us where we're wrong.
I don't know if I want to admit that.
I mean, I still think lobby matchmaking is a problem, because I can tell you, as much as sometimes I get to be Save the Sniper. Sometimes I would go a lot of those flawless games that I play. Not to tear up on somebody's gun skill or anything. I don't know how Bungie does the matchmaking when it comes to trials, but every time I lose, I get curious. And then the opponent's fire team is stacked. My skill level. My fire team, let's just say
Joe Blow and Stevie Q.
Yeah. This is what I'm talking about, though. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Everybody.
I'm no best player or anything. But usually my fire teams is just they're on 20 lost win streaks and
and they thought this was a good matchup for you to go against Team Elite.
Yeah.
No,
but that's the thing. That's the thing.
I can go off like a few games or something like that, and then I get to these games, I'm just why? I don't know, because my chat.
That's the thing is This is exactly why skill-based matchmaking would help it, because it would make the lobby
I mean, like,
balancing
to
possible.
me personally, like, I don't care who they put on my fire team, but I guess and that's why I said like the whole matchmaking problem is that like they're putting my fire team members, they're like so low to the spectrum to
Mhm.
where like I'm not gonna like dogpile on
Yeah.
them not shooting a bullet or where they at, because you know I sometimes I just like I'm just like but yeah. But as far as me PvP and stuff like that, I'm okay. I just been chilling. I've been embracing the meta lately. So
Mhm.
I think last weekend I was just fusioning the crap out of people.
Voop, voop, voop.
Voop,
Yep.
voop.
And then if I saw my favorite Titans, that what's that?
Lorely Splendor, if I say that right.
Yeah, yeah, that advantage they got.
Just sending a little wrist with the
I
little
hate your damn turrets.
Arianas and
You
Lorenz.
can just kiss right off, man.
Oh, now that's more powerful than turrets now? That's what we're doing here?
No,
No,
I hate your turret. No, I never said it's more
I mean, I'm
powerful.
cool.
I love
I
this.
mean,
this
hey,
this
if there's
face.
a will,
I can't
there's
even
a
make
way.
this face. I don't know
You
what
know
this
we gotta have
face
our
is.
Titan Warlock battle. It wouldn't be right if we didn't
I mean,
have
I'm aware.
our jealousy of the other class. It
Hey,
wouldn't be
it's
right.
a will to way. I mean, every time I played a team like that, hey,
What you do? What you do?
just
We put that
Widowhorn just
Widowhorn
stayed
on his head. Put that Widowhorn. See, for me, how I stop them is I usually go Vortex, or if I'm going solo, I throw a little, solar grenade, extended duration, just kind of burn them out. Burn them out. But continue. My anti-Titan build.
Hey,
Continue.
funny that said just play Gambit. I remember I used to be so into Gambit. I tell you,
Mhm.
I
No,
mean,
I feel it.
Reckoner Day Gambit. Oh
Dredging.
no, yeah, Reckoner. Ooh wee, them triumphs. Ooh.
Those are real. Those are
Yeah,
real.
that was a grain and a half, and that's just one of the. I would love to get like I would love to find enough like high level PvP players that were on different sides of this argument to actually hear kind of a legitimate debate. Because when it comes to the skill based piece, I know there are some who are probably okay with it, and I know there's some that are absolutely against it. And I would be really curious to know, because somebody in chat said, and it actually was an interesting point, imagine Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 with skill-based matchmaking. There would be no nukes. And I'm going, okay, I get the idea that kill streaks are fun to get, but again, the fact that you got 25 kills because you're paired against a whole bunch of crap people compared to you, is the satisfaction that you're like, oh, I'm better than all these other people, and now I get the kills death streak that makes it even more, and it exacerbates the issue even more because you just nuke the entire team? Is it, I don't know, it's just like, is the fun moment worthy where you can do that? And even in that game, it almost makes more sense to have less skill-based matchmaking because the kill streaks are desirable. We don't even have anything like that in this game. It's just your abilities and you.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like that to go for. It's just like, if you're getting crapped on every match you go into, and it takes you like 4 matches to finally have a decent one, you may not have made it to that 4th match to have a decent match, and you just set it down. And
yeah, that's a lousy argument, to be honest. It's like the only people who benefit by unbalanced lobbies are streamers and people who get their kicks out of just like raffle stomping the enemy team. And it's not good game design. It's not good PvP design. There can still be kill streaks and stuff like that. You get your super, you might get a few kills, or maybe you just get lucky or whatever, but they should be the anomaly, the exception, not the rule. They shouldn't just constantly be happening so that one team is just thoroughly not enjoying the match. And I just think, how do you do that without skill-based matchmaking? You can't just pull a random sampling of people into a lobby, divide them on teams, and think you're going to get anywhere close to a balanced setup. It's just not mathematically viable. So I think, yeah, there's a certain group in the Destiny community that would very much benefit by there not being skill-based matchmaking, and I think they're controlling the conversation for whatever reason, and they shouldn't be.
Look, well, you know how I felt on it, so you just been preaching the stuff me and E been kind of saying during the Flashpoint days, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We've always been on this, and it's just, again, I hate to say it, this is how I feel. I just feel it's a vocal minority that has a lot of power that can influence, and sometimes you have to look at the overall community, the overall health of the game. And to me, it behooves the health of the game to play against people closer to your skill. You know what I mean? And that to me makes you better. That to me puts you in better matches, and you don't have the stomps. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. I don't want to be completely dismissive. I get for people in certain regions, right, that, hey, their skill is what their skill is, so the algorithm has to search another country. Now that I empathize with, right? I empathize the wait time or the connection may suffer for those people. So maybe the intermediate thing is kind of what Travis is saying. It just, maybe we put the pressure on Bungie from a hybrid standpoint where, like algorithm, if this, then this, if your connection, then you go to the next tier of whatever, ranking or whatever. This way the ranking comes back in, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, they have to build it. They have to incorporate it, because clearly there's still a disconnect with the community to where it is now from how it used to be, and they have to find that happy medium. I don't envy them. I'm not saying it's easy, but you just got to figure it out.
Well, it's like, I guess that if you want a mathematical example, because one of you guys said it, made me kind of think of it, because I've heard it referenced this way. Take a whole bunch of people, like some 1s, some 2s, some 3s, and a 10. And this is where you guys talk about the lobby matchmaking. The 10 gets put with, however, if they get put on the 10 with a whole bunch of 1s, the average of the others are still probably going to get more kills. But if that 10 all of a sudden has like a 10, a 4, a 3, a 2, and a 1, and then you only have 3s, 2s, 1s, and a 4, and there's nobody on that other level, they have no chance.
Preach.
And that's why the outlier, and that's why I was saying, like, the outlier idea. It's like, if you go skill based, like maybe on quick play the range is wider, but a 1 and a 10 should never be in the same place. Maybe like 3 to 8. Sure, you got some, because if you ever want to get better at PvP, you need to play people somewhat close to you. Playing people better than you is a good thing, but playing people, like, I should never step into a game against Mtashed. I would just get floor wiped. Not even gonna like have a chance. Just, he's a better FPS shooter than I will probably ever be. Just as an example, any of those guys probably are that are high level in PvP. I'm gonna lose, but I don't get any benefit out of that because I don't get to practice, and there's no time for me to react because I'm typically dead faster than I know what to do. If there's somebody who's like a tier above, and this is what Travis has been asking for, and what I hope is coming in season 19, is ranked. Right. If you're in that range of like, I'm in 1800 to 1900, and I'm 1800, but I'm paired against the 1900 guy, but we're kind of close, but he's better. Then I can kind of see, okay, here's this. I can work on my shots, but I know I'm not going against like 8900. I shouldn't be in the same ballpark. So that's all. Like, there could be ranges, and it doesn't have to be. And again, I get, like, if Europe is pairing with like Japan over here, there is a problem because the ping is going to be too bad.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So like that's the idea. It's like, I get the connection piece, and in certain places it could be weighted more. But if there's zero skill in the entire game, that's why you get the stuff that you do. And I think most people, I will say, and every so often I will honestly say, some people in the comments are like, oh, Travis is this, Travis is that. I've seen more Travis ain't lying comments going through the chat right now.
No, they with him.
I was like, Travis spitting fire right now, so I just wanted to shout him out.
And it's real. You know what I'm saying?
I'm consistent, right? I'm consistent. I've been saying since the beginning.
Oh, I know.
I'm not an elitist. I don't think I'm a 1%er of trials. I just would like to play with people in my general skill range. And I think everyone should play in their general skill range. I think people who are, at the 99th percentile should play in their skill range, and the people that are the super tryhard should. And wherever I end up fitting in that, I don't claim to be a god in PvP or whatever, but wherever it is I fill in that, I want to play against my peers so that I can get better and improve. And that is the essence of competitive multiplayer. And that just philosophically, that's how it should be. And I think just over the years, Bungie's sort of taken out a piece here and out a piece here, and they've kind of lost their way of like this machine that they've built, and they don't really know what to do with it. But I'm really glad to hear them talking about it, because it means, hey, look, they're going to address it. Season 19, it seems like they have a plan. Like, this is a conversation that they've really taken the time to kind of assess, and I'm just looking forward to them moving the needle in some way, because it's been such a back and forth in a bad state situation for so long.
Yeah.
I appreciate the comments that are supporting me and the ones that aren't supporting me.
It's good to have a discussion. It's totally fine.
For sure.
That's part of it. But that's why I would let, like, firing range. I would love to have that entire show on here just to see their thoughts about, and again, I don't know if they talked about it yesterday because it was 2 days ago. They might have talked about it last night. I still need to listen, because they had Patty Cakes on last night. Shout out to Patty Cakes, ultra nice guy when we had him on here.
Oh, I love Patty Cakes. Yeah, Patty Cakes is dope.
So it's just one of those. It is an interesting discussion, and I can see some of both sides. But again, it's like from that high tier perspective, it is kind of one of those things that you have to take a step out of your I'm ultra skilled box and think about 80% of the other people. And it's like, and then it does change discussions. But
Real talk.
anywho, so we got a squab, and this is one I was
Mhm.
waiting for because got the tease about it last week. Now we're mid-April, and it's actually mid-April in this season. I have jury duty next week, by the way. I'm not looking forward to that.
Oh, boo.
I have jury summons on Wednesday.
I'm in PAX.
Next
too.
week.
We gotta talk about that. I didn't think about.
Yeah,
I know
we'll
you was
see.
enjoy Judy. Okay.
Well, no, I have summons. I don't know if I'll get picked or make it on
Oh,
the
okay,
selection.
okay. Gotcha.
I've been summoned to go down
You've
to
been
downtown
summoned.
Dallas.
You've been-
Yeah.
You've been
So
summoned
then when I
downtown.
get there, it's like I'll see if I get picked. But I moved my date from like 2 days after Witch Queen launch. Since I was not going to go then. I deferred it
respect
to
that.
now.
I
But
respect
now
that.
my number is like so low. I'm definitely probably going to go
Yeah,
like
get
have
picked.
to see if I'm in selection. My wife actually had to serve on one last week. So she got picked all the way. But the big thing is dungeons or raids. So of course, fun topic. Good time to have our guest on. Can't ask for a better one. Sorry, we've been going off on SBMM. So thank you, Save, for your patience.
Thank you, Save, for your patience. We had to get that out. Appreciate
Got
you.
it. I mean, shoot. I just have one thing to say. So
I appreciate you, brother.
All right. Big thing to know. Master Vow of the Disciple is coming Tuesday. Well, I know, Sabe, you got a new challenge coming. You ready?
oh yeah, always.
So it's 1580. Not some people thinking it might be 1590, but it's 1580.
I think Liliana just tweeted that people thought it was a typo, and she was like, not typo.
Oh, the 1580 is real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's just like a plus 30 seasonal cap. So if you're 1590, that's really it. So
Oh, so 15. So if you were 1590, there's nothing above that, is what you're saying.
mm-hmm.
So it's like a soft contest, basically. I guess that's kind of a way to read it. I was wondering what the detail of that was. So that makes sense. We will be getting adept versions for the raid. And this is kind of one thing I wanted to ask before we get into my actual excited topic. With crafted weapons coming from the raid now, they do take a little while to get the red frames. I've got about half now, not all of them, but at least a couple, working on some more. I'm almost to submission, and then I think I've got 2 others. With crafted weapons being an option now, do any of you guys find adept weapons, the grind for an adept weapon as a drop, now worthwhile?
Ooh.
Good save
this
question.
is such a
Do any of us think that they ever were? I think that's maybe a better question.
That's a different question.
Save feels strongly. Save has some balls for me. He shocked me what he said, but he felt strongly about it. Continue, Save.
Yeah, because thing. I mean, I still get them no matter what, the adept weapons, but for me, I think I guess like crafting is just because I guess where are you really getting for like an adept? I guess you get like the adept mods, and you get like plus 2 to all stats. When you masterwork it. But I think the only question I have is that they did say that after each encounter, like you have a chance to get adept drops. And I wonder if they took those adept drops that that you can only get from challenges. 'Cause that's just my concern.
Fair enough.
But as far as like they worth it between adept and
Crafting.
I'm gonna say no personally, because if I need a guy where I can just go craft it. As
My man.
opposed, but if we could, I already know that we probably can't even craft a death weapon. So
Yeah, most likely not.
it's just I don't. I'm just it's just a gray area of me just caring about adept weapons where I could just craft my own weapon. Like I think like the weapon that I have crafted so far is my cataclysmic. I have enhanced 4 times the charm and focus fury. If no adept doesn't drop that with my same roll, I'm gonna go for it.
What about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I'm Team Crafton. Obviously the system's not perfect. You know what I'm saying? But
Oh, we're gonna get to that.
we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. But look, I just this week, I was still conflicted about the investment, right? But when I finally did it, I'm like, I got my alloys, I got my ruinous, my drowned, my energy, 50K glimmer, whatever shards. I'm in the table. I stayed with a terrible roll of peace of mind, playing handicap with bad,
Yeah.
stability and terrible perk. And I leveled that bad boy up to 12 because I knew then I could get my range masterwork. And then I could get the perks I want. I got my enhanced elemental capacitor. I was able to get my perpetual motion on it, throwing little high caliber rounds on that bad boy. And I'm not going to front. I'm slaying, and it felt so good. There was a part of me that gave me D1 sensibilities, and that I committed to
You
the gun.
invested in the weapon.
Yeah. And I put in the work. I stayed with a terrible gun for weeks through trials
So
and
like
bro.
that takes me to a perfect point though, because crafting is imperfect, and we'll get to the horrible joke
No, it's
later
not perfect. Yeah, it's not perfect. It's not perfect.
Oh
It's
yes.
not perfect. It's not perfect. There's a lot of issues I got.
But what I wanted,
yeah, sorry.
no,
Ask
but
your question.
what I wanted to ask you is that system there,
Mhm.
sticking with a terrible weapon just to
Mhm.
get the perks that you want.
Right.
How would you guys like to see that change future seasons whenever they can get to it? How
Right.
do you think that would make the process more enjoyable? So you're like, because you don't want to spend extra resources theoretically to get like the mid-level, like the 7 and 8 perks before you actually
Mhm.
just like, let me use this crap thing for like 16 levels and then finally get up there. So how do you think they could make that more enjoyable but still feel the investment? Or go ahead.
No, this is a great question, and I was thinking about it during this whole 2 to 3 weeks of me doing this. I am torn because there's a part of me that says you should invest to basically dictate a god roll, because I am circumventing RNG. Now I have a peace of mind that I got from a drop that had half of the god roll. It had, for PvP, it had elemental capacity, but it had like compulsive reload. I'm like, damn, I don't want that. I want perpetual motion. I don't want whatever, right? So, and it didn't have the masterwork I wanted. And that gun was good, but it wasn't perfect. So there's a part of me that's like, I shouldn't just easily be able to
Yeah.
just go to the crafting table and mix ingredients and just boom, I'm God roll. Because now you circumvent. So part of me does like the fact that I grinded for that and that I put in the work. God, know you about to cook,
So, well,
Trav.
what I was
Go
going
ahead.
to say, sorry, it just popped in my head, so I just want to lose
Yes.
my thought here.
Mhm. Mhm.
So you like the idea of the investment.
Yes.
And you also mentioned you got an alternate drop.
yes.
So what if theoretically to unlock the pattern, and this
Mhm.
is again going away from deep side, so this is a whole system change, so I don't expect this. But what if
Okay.
to unlock the pattern, you would have to get a certain number of kills, time spent with activity, whatever you do,
Oh, I
with
see where you're
any
going.
of the drops that you
I see where
get
you're
for
going.
that
All right.
weapon, and then you like 2,000 kills later,
Yeah.
like a catalyst or something, you actually
Right.
unlock the base level. Then you
I
can
feel where
pick
you're
all the
going.
perks you want, and then your crafted weapon, you could theoretically then spend time to invest for the enhanced perks.
Two flaws to the system. You make it a fantastic point. Two flaws to the system. I don't feel there's too much RNG with acquiring a pattern, right?
Yeah.
That part is weird.
So
Yeah.
that's the part I was going to talk about, Cog. You
Yeah,
talked
and I'm gonna
about
give it
how
to you. I'm
you're-
almost finished. Yeah, I'm almost finished. That's the part. And then the biggest beef with the amount of materials I needed to get an enhanced version of the perk, right? Now that I have it, I should have it. I should
the
now
permanent unlock?
Yeah,
Oh,
like
that pisses me off, I'll be
for
honest.
that, at least for that pattern.
Yeah.
For that
Yeah.
gun, I worked to level 12 or 14. I got enhanced, whatever. I now, if I want another version of this, and I'm going to put them in, that part should be unlocked, and that should be no cost already.
That
Don't double charge me back at the ATM now after I already made the commitment. So that's why I'm with you. I'm finished now. I'm curious to hear what both of you guys got to say, because that was just my experience.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
Mhm.
for one, I don't know that this matters. It's not going to matter for 95, probably more than that percent of the Destiny community that isn't going to engage in the end game for super long after, we're done. So I think the system by design is made for the people that are going to be here for a long time. And so maybe therefore it's okay that it's grindy. I don't know that this is at the top of or anywhere resembling the top of Bungie's list of stuff that they should tackle or focus on. But if I'm criticizing it as a system, which is sort of my job, so of course I am, I would disagree with you, Cog, that you are circumventing RNG. Because what's happening is it's actually making you do 2 grinds, and one of them is based on RNG, which is how you get the red frames.
Yep.
And so I would say if you can get 5 red frames of a single weapon to drop, you sort of have already done your RNG work, and you should probably just get the, you know what I mean? Like they, in my perspective, they have to choose one. Either I get the design right away, the pattern right away, and then the grind is leveling up the weapon, or getting the design is the grind, and then once the design's done, I can craft whatever I want as long as I have the materials to do so. And that brings me to the third grind, which is a hidden grind, which is a materials grind. Woo. And that materials grind also includes the exotic, whatever the new material is that I've already forgotten the name of. Send an alloy. That's another grind on top of it. So I think the question of like, oh, I'm subverting RNG, not really. You're just doing like 4 mini versions of RNG that maybe feel a little bit more fun than just grinding the same activity and hoping for God roll. Because the thing I do like about the system is that there is an end in sight, no matter what. Like, that there's going to be an end. But I would disagree that you're subverting RNG. And I think that they could do a lot to improve kind of the landscape there.
The only pushback I got to give you, though, is I agree 90%. The only pushback is every single category I can pick what I want once I'm unlocked. Like, that's powerful. Every single category, I could be like, arrowhead break, high caliber rounds, the extra mag, range, stability. Like, I am literally getting I'm buffet. You know what I'm saying? But there's a power to that. There is a power to that.
They're taking all the most powerful perks and making them non-craftable as well, so that they can leave them for adept. Right? It's not like you can craft an adept weapon and you can apply literally any perk. Right. They give you a pick list.
They give you a very curated. Good point.
And I think that they take off the table the ultra god roll perk, so they try to get you like most of the way there. Yeah. But I just think there's sort of a beauty in what they're doing, because they're trying to have it both ways, where they can have the god roll chase for the adepts, for the people who are in the 1% of people that do that, and then they've got like maybe this 90 to or maybe a 10% that are doing the hardcore crafting that gets you most of the way. And then for everyone else, it's just, laissez-faire, whatever you use. And so I think there is a certain beauty to it. I just think that they could streamline it. It obviously could be better. I think everybody knows that. I mean, we're already going to be talking about some improvements they're making today with the 12.
Sabe, you've been very quiet and patient over there. Quiet. Where are you on kind of your state of crafting right now? Just like outside of obviously when we were talking about masters and depths,
to me,
just crafting.
Just crafting, like just crafting the weapon, or
just the whole crafting system right now.
How
like
you with it? Yeah, where you feel?
Like anything you said, like peace of mind, just a normal weapon.
Well, they already dealt with one of my first problems was materials, because even till this day, because that cataclysmic that I was trying to get with bait and switch requires raid materials, and you have to get a red border, and they put even more of an RNG that red border had to have a raid perk, and I got many red borders, and this has been week 4, and I cannot get another raid perk. I just need one to craft my version of another cataclysmic. So that's why I just went with Focus Sphere, because I didn't have the material. I'm glad that's going away. But as far as like the whole getting the materials, like I feel like it should be another way. Like I really do feel like I had like an idea in a way. Like, you play with the weapon to a certain level, you make it resonant or something, and then you level it up to get the materials.
I mean, that actually wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, but the reason why I say this is because my vault is literally filled with almost like red stuff that I have to keep, and vault is like an issue, like
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I personally don't like I mean, people do it, spending my time at Shirochi getting all these weapons off of me.
That's the spot. You don't like going to
Yep.
the spot?
Yep.
Oh no, that's it's like that's the problem. Is that's what you see about like leveling up? I saw
like,
Cool
I
Guy
really
mention
do
it.
feel like
Everybody's just like
what they should do is give you so much XP for doing an activity
Mm.
as opposed to, because like I tell you right now, and because heavy weapon resonant weapons are a lot easier than energy and
Yes.
kinetic can never be. It
Mhm.
takes so long. And
Oh,
that's why
kinetics, brutal. Yeah.
I feel like the only thing that, like, in case I don't want to do Shirochi all day, I'll probably just go to those little Psyops battlegrounds and put on 3 resonance weapons and
Yep.
get them to
Let's
like
get it done.
40%. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's another thing I do in case I get bored. But like, we shouldn't do that. Like, I really do feel like, there should be a way we can get these materials without like, trying to hoard on weapons. Because I know us as like content creators, we have like many weapons that we want to test out and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
of course, these red borders is been filling my vault. So I guess that's the only thing I will feel. I mean, I'm glad they're taking away, the materials next season, which we only need neutron elements, but there needs to be more ways to get neutron elements. I mean,
Yep. Yeah, that's the
You
big
got a
issue.
whole vault-
you got a
and
whole
that
vault
number
filled
shouldn't be
with ways to do
200
it.
every time, because I was like, I'm only getting 200 from.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't mind if they ever did patch the Shirochi part. Just
Oh, dudes are gonna be hurting. You take
like
away the
if
spot. I
they-
just
if
asked
they're
one of my
gonna fix
classmates
that-
back for dead for that spot. I said, "Who got the spot?"
But
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that's the
I
thing.
mean,
If they do
that's
patch that,
what
they need
happened
to
after
fix
the
the
Shattered
system.
Throne got patched. It was
Yeah.
like, oh, yep.
How about this, Sabe? You get 200 for a primary weapon, 300 for special, 500 for heavy.
That would be cool.
That's my proposal. Because heavy takes way longer. You guys ever have like a heavy weapon? It's like,
If you go to
I'm gonna
Surochi,
roll.
heavies are
Well,
actually the fastest, which is
Rockets
weird.
are
That's true.
fast
Well,
for
I
me.
think heavy is the fastest because there's been times like when I'm in Shirochi, I'm just shooting like
Yeah, it'd be
my
like
Okay,
rifle.
40%.
Yeah.
You
Rockets
guys are
at
going
least.
out of your way
No,
to do
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
I
In
equip it and I'm
farming,
just
it's-
like, let me go do other
Yeah.
stuff. Especially
Oh,
if you're
wow.
doing PvP, you're going to be rolling with that weapon.
Exactly. And that's
forever.
in the
Yeah.
normal way of grinding, heavies are 100% worse. But if you have
Yeah.
something
Oh, yeah.
that explode, now like
That's true,
cataclysmic,
that's true,
like cataclysmic, that's a linear. That's going to be hard to do at Surochi, so that's got to be a little more natural
Bro,
in
I
activities.
dread snipers. When I get one,
Yeah. But that's
I ain't doing it.
they wanted to help vaults and they made them worse because to craft one weapon, and granted, once you craft it, it's fine. But like in future seasons, season 17, we're going to have new craftable weapons. They said they also may be bringing older weapons into the crafting as well. We don't even have a hand cannon in crafting right now, which actually blew my mind a little bit when I saw that the first time, because this game is built around hand cannons. But to get 2 enhanced perks, it would take you doing 20 red outline weapons to get 2 enhanced perks.
That's insane.
I mean, and if you go through, so it's like if I want 5 enhanced weapons with enhanced perks on each, that is 100 red outline weapons. And that's not me investing time in the weapon that I like. That's me using all these crap red outline weapons to get this material resource that I have to spend it on. It's that we are definitely in weapon crafting like beta. I can't even talk like right now. We're in weapon
It's so
crafting.
disgusting.
The more I think about it, the more I get frustrated that because we already knew we were about to have 50 currencies. We did get one more. We'll get to that.
Nah,
So the 50
Ty,
currencies.
Travis read on that.
Oh, that was
I
epic.
love when they just introduce new cards because I'm here for Travis. I'm like, what are they going to do? I can't wait till we get to the other section. But when they were talking about that one, I was like, yo, he called it. That was the funny part.
And you guys all thought I was insane. And let us not forget, the only reason they didn't is because of
Technical limitations. Yeah. Well, it's like technical
were held
and also
back.
like usability. I'm like, they can't put like 5. Sorry, Bungie, if you guys are listening to this, we love you. But yeah, this is one. But yeah, it's like they can't find a place to put 5 currencies displayable right now that we have. 50 would have shut the servers down. I'm pretty sure we would have broken things. But yeah, this is I like the idea of investment in the weapon I want to like invest into. This doing all these other things just to get invested in this, and then you still got to spend the 20 years with this weapon to level it up to level 20 or 30 if you want to use your mementos, except that Nightfall one that's a traffic cone.
If I can make one more joke
Basically.
before we move on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If I
Trav.
can make one more joke. New Rad has been saying for weeks that PvP is holding Destiny back in the comments section.
New Red,
You know what? Apparently, technical limitations are holding Destiny back. You should thank PvP for being in the game, because if they deleted it right now, you know what would replace it? 50 crafting currencies.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
welcome. New Rad.
I can
You're
tell you,
welcome, PvE players. You're welcome.
Oh no, I tell you, like I although I talk about rating a lot too, I used to play a lot of PvP in D1. In
Yeah,
fact,
me too.
I used to do trials carries.
Yep.
Nice.
Salute.
We'll get you back into it one of these days. Once they fix things, we'll get you back into it.
So,
Mhm.
crafting tangent aside, that was accidental, but a good discussion. Thank you all.
Yes, very
Yeah.
good discussion.
We are going to be getting something new in season 17. We are going to be getting a new rotator system for seasonal challenges, which is going to basically work as it does right now. And then we're also going to get weekly categories for raids and dungeons. And we have been asking for this for so long. So each season is going to work kind of as it does now. The most recently released raid, currently valid the Disciple, and the most recently released dungeon, which in season 17, we will get a new one. Shout out to that, because we don't know what it is yet. Those
Yeah,
are going to be pinnacle drops on every encounter, as they are now. Pretty standard, pretty much what we got going on. If you take season 18, for example, we're supposed to get a new raid then. That's when Vow of the Disciple would go into the weekly rotator, and the new raid would be the, seasonal pinnacle, all drops or pinnacles. The weekly rotation now is going to be anything not in the seasonal that we just mentioned. Is dungeons are going to have a weekly rotator, and raids are going to have a weekly rotator. Now, rewards are going to be pinnacles from the end. So a pinnacle from the final drop. So if you're doing your seasonal grind of, if they keep it at 10 power level, that'll be one more thing you can rotate in there. It's also going to be featured, which is nice. You actually see kind of a featured place for raids to kind of be focused up that'll rotate them through. But they're also going to be 100% farmable. There's going to be no cap. That means if you want to run Last Wish 20 times in 1 week, you're going to get legendary drops from that raid every drop. Or every encounter, no matter how many times you run it. So if you run 20 raids and there's 5 drops per raid, you can get 100 drops in that week if you want to. What's up?
Does this 100 drops include 1K voices? I have DJ Orals in the chat who's been trying to get me this gun for months. Can we get a fine print on
I
exotics?
don't know if exotics are in there, but in theory,
Talk to me.
hopefully.
I'm gonna say no.
Before we answer that question,
God, I would hope so with old raids though, because I need to do that too.
Do you want it to be farmable? Because that sounds like a nightmare. I feel like it's a blessing that you can only run it 3 times a week and get 3 chances.
So sled. Go ahead.
I'm serious. Do you want, like, literally, if they told you, oh yeah, you can get it now. Just depends how much you want to play it.
I'm gonna be real with you. I did that for Anarchy.
You would checkpoint the living crap out of that one, wouldn't you?
Shout out to Wilhelm Scream and the crew. I was in that bad boy.
That one wasn't unlimited farmable. If they told you, hey, you could get Anarchy faster, you just got to play it 100 times in 1 week, would you?
That's what they did with Anarchy.
No.
That's what they did with Anarchy.
Did with Anarchy. Yeah,
Anarchy was unlimited.
They uncapped it.
And right before they took it out of the game, they
That was
uncapped
right before
it.
they took it out. I gotcha.
Bro, I was in there. I knew all of the...
I tell you.
Yeah, go ahead, Save. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I tell you, I helped so many people do that.
Remember that?
Before.
Yo, bro, we was in it. It was like we had a conga line. It was like, yo, who ain't got it?
It could take you 20
me,
runs, but yeah, that's going to be
point
cost
out,
checkpoints.
there are people who farm spoils like me.
Yeah.
Like
when I get a chance.
But also, why would they do that right before they took the raid out? Because then doesn't that mean that they were just about to sell it in a machine?
I mean, they put it at the kiosk, but if you wanted to grind the raid, they were like, all right, here you go.
Because it could be, look at it this way. Trav, it's funny. Look at it this way, Trav. Think about your pain that you had with what's the rocket launcher from Deep Stone.
Yeah, but if they told me, hey, in 2 weeks we're gonna sell it in a vendor, or you can grind it 100 times, I would be like, dog, I'm waiting.
You gonna go get yours for Walmart?
Yeah, that's insane. I'd be like, bro, I'm cool. I'll just wait till they sell it in the store.
They had that going for a while though. It wasn't like 3 weeks before the season. It was for like almost a whole season. It was for a good chunk of time. I was like, they specifically said legendaries encounter for legendary gear being removed, so exotics do sound like they're going to be weekly, I'm guessing. So I would honestly be okay if it was in there because Last Wish is 3 years old.
That's what I'm saying. Let me eat.
Divinity's
man.
a quest. Deepstone Crypt's already a year old. If you want to farm that checkpoint 20 times and you've like, at that point, you've mastered the encounter. Again, that's why I was like, I want to cap on this stuff anyway. So I'm fine with it. Yeah.
This dragon don't like me.
I would like to add, whenever Last Wish becomes that seasonal rotator, it's going to be a farming simulator. I'm telling you right now, I don't even think people are going to be doing full encounters anymore. They're
gonna jump to the checkpoint. Who got the checkpoint?
Sure.
Who in the belly of the
jump
beast?
to that wall. They'll be like, "Yep, I'm gonna go ahead and just go get my weapon. Screw the whole way."
So it's like, Tyranny of Heaven drops here. All right, everybody go. We're gonna fight more.
Hot take. I think that they should be able to do that on any raid.
I
think that mechanic of
the
mechanic of being able to jump to whatever encounter you want, I think you should be able to do that on any raid. Because it's insane to ask a community to like, oh, you have to get to the end just if you want a shot at the last item, and people find workarounds anyway. They share checkpoints and so what is the point of that if there's ways to get around it anyway? You should be able to pick your encounter from the menu when you're in orbit.
Yeah, maybe
if you've beaten the raid before.
Maybe it's tied to the title system or something.
I was like, I would say everybody who's done the raid, you might have to have like beat it a couple times or something. Like, I don't want that like
put a requirement on it, sure.
Yeah, but eventually I could see that. But for like, first certain number of clears or something, I don't know if I love that at first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely not. I would say not until it gets to the feature.
No, hold on, that's a different perspective.
E is always elitist when it comes to PvE content. Come on.
But he says we've had battles on this subject, and he's been very clear. Like he didn't like the RNG
beat
aspect.
It like 3 to 5 times, and then you could do it. It doesn't need to be 20.
Okay.
But but yeah, I don't want somebody who's never raided the raid to be able to be taken straight to be able to take him straight to rogue. Like if a new yeah, like
I agree with that.
You don't like that?
Yeah, no, that's what I was like. If a new player's in your fire team, you got to run it all. But if you've all beat it like 5 times and you just want to go and it's an old raid, especially, yeah,
we have an easy pass to run
after 5 raids. Sure,
I agree with that, but they could just add this mechanic to the featured playlist so that it doesn't affect the current raid or whatever.
The current raid, I see.
Why not? Why not do that?
We'll see. I'm curious if the exotics do play a factor. That
way I can do the one encounter I need to do to get the solar bow in Last Wish.
And to your point, trying to raid is old already. It's not the new hotness that is Vow or whatever.
You're only getting
that
one pinnacle from it. Yeah. It's old. It could be a 3-year-old raid. There's not origin traits, which is, again, that was probably a big ask on my hope, but it's not there. Mm-hmm. And then
or just guarantee exotic drops after 10 runs. I don't know.
At least fix the damn RNG.
Yeah. I mean, give me a cap on that RNG.
RNG is I just do not like RNG on titles. That's something that I spoke specifically about because I remember not getting Vex for a whole season. It took me 54.
Damn.
And
still don't have
I did like all the master challenges, I never run it. The only reason why I didn't get that title that season because I didn't have a Vex.
Dude, that is so unfair. You ran it every possible time on every character.
Oh yeah, 3 characters. And see, I love when I help people and they get it their first or under 10 tries.
I have a friend who would tell you that you weren't trying hard enough because you weren't deleting your characters every week, rolling a fresh one, and then doing the raid more than 3 times in a week.
I'm sorry. If you delete your character, I don't know if I can talk to you. Like,
I know a guy who does that. Like, if
my
the raid's out,
sacred.
He'll just delete his character, 2 of his 3 characters.
I think the only time that I deleted my characters was in D1, and then I just started slip. I remember I did Warlock, Hunter, Titan, and then I deleted those 2 to make 3 Hunters, and then
Beast.
Yeah, I remember the triple character.
I was like, runs, you know what? I'm gonna go back to a Warlock and Titan.
Yeah, it just gets to be a bit much.
I forgot people did that.
I was like, so for me, I guess I haven't totally weighed in.
Yes,
I like the idea of the rotation. It gives freshness to Shattered Throne, Prophecy, Pit of Heresy, and then theoretically, Grasp of Avarice is about to go in this rotator when we get a new one next season. So I like to have a reason to play those, but I also would like to see them do some type of refresh to the loot in there, because a lot of the loot is older, and now with origin traits, it's basically already outdated for what's in there. some of the raid stuff is exclusive, like there's only solar bow in the game is in Last Wish.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Just
legendary,
raid.
at least outside of TQs. So it's
Mhm.
like, it's good that there will be, a little more incentive to go in there and get that, but it's just because there's not access to one. If you give me a solar craftable bow, I have little reason to go back to Last Wish, literally except for the exotic. So while I like the idea of the rotation and like more people can go solo a dungeon, go for triumphs and things like that, I'll apparently
Mhm.
probably be redoing most of my dungeon guides because there will be a lot of them.
Oh yeah.
But I am wondering how much this will bring to incentive to play them. If you've been playing for a while, if somebody hasn't experienced it and you're leveling up and you're playing through and you're like, hey, we could go do this dungeon because, it's one more pinnacle to do this week while you level. Cool. But like at week 12, if you've already hit 15, 60 on pinnacles or whatever, there's a lot less incentive because a lot of the guns are older. Not much. Like if I go into Shattered Throne, there's not much in there that I'm going to like, oh, cool. I got a scout rifle from the Dreaming City. There's not much in there loot wise.
I don't think it's meant for guys like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're in that percentile that you're gonna have most of the stuff. The only reason you'll be in there is if you get unlucky. Let's be honest, right? Like, there's no reason. This is for. I actually like, because we used to talk about this from back in the day. Like, we all agree that raids and dungeons are some of the best content in Destiny. Blade even said like. But, this is one of the reasons why he got into Destiny. So there's a huge subset of people that just won't run it. And you want to try to give as much incentive as possible. Now, granted, I know it's only one pinnacle at the end, but at least it's something that it doesn't invalidate the whole run.
Yeah.
And you can be of power, you know what I'm saying, at the end. So I'm always, look, I am very biased. I am very pro raid. I'm very pro dungeon. Anything to get more people playing and trying. I just ran Garden with the guys, and it reminded me. I was like, okay, still stuff I didn't like about, but I'm like, it was decent. You know what I'm saying? We got a little conga line together. All right, who's building? All right, build the thing back. Okay, cool.
I would have loved that mechanic if it worked 100% of the time.
I know. Me and DJ were talking about it, and it was just like the problem is like I think me and you talked about too. Like somebody should at least shoot it to activate it. There should be something where someone shouldn't be able to interfere and then create another conga line and mess up the whole rotation. But there were some things that they did mechanically that they attempted at least that I thought was cool. And, Divinity
all
and
the
whatever.
new mechanics they tried didn't work. Conga lines, the Gambit moat pickups.
Yep,
like,
the Gambit moat pickups. Yep.
It actually kind of reminds me of the first Callus raid, where they tried new stuff like stealth mechanics and they just didn't work. But it was such a great idea. It just didn't pan out.
It was just like I said, it's cool to have people experience it. And then, like you said, E, we have to admit, because of the way the legendary weapon system is, sadly, there's still some guns and archetypes you can only find in these raids. Like you said, the solar bow, and there's certain things you can only find in these raids. So, hey, give them incentive to go in there. See what's going on. Odysseus said I broke.
And again, that's one of those. Hopefully, with the next couple of seasons, they fill out some of these missing archetypes from sunsetting. That's still like, I don't know how we don't have a solar bow in 3 years. If you go for void auto rifles that are legendary, 2 are in a raid, and then the other one you gotta hope either Banshee or Zur sell it, because I don't know if you can get a gnawing hunger from most places anymore.
That's a good point. Yeah,
so it's like they're just weird. Because I've been digging through that. It's like there are weird ones. And again, hopefully in seasons you could probably craft one and then we'd be totally fine. But right now there are a couple holes. But it is just, I'm happy to see them get the rotation, the refresh, a little bit of nice work back through there. A little bit of patch notes next week. On Tuesday we'll get a patch, so no holding Zur hostage. Wellspring's gonna have a couple fix. Master, if you even complete the objective close to time, you still won't wipe. Some stuff spawning out of bounds won't happen. Altar of Reflection should hopefully be fixed. Vow the Disciple.
Those are the problem.
Rolk won't actually hang out in front of you and not walk back to his little platform. We've definitely had that.
Way too many times.
Yeah, we've seen it enough that it's definitely an issue. Trials.
Oh, should that happen?
Trials will have an issue where players are not receiving expected rewards on post flawless. Like, if you are flawless and you're still winning, yes, you should be getting drops for sure. Text chat. Virtual keyboard support is now available on console text chat. More emphasis on the text chat for consoles. That's a good thing, because I even sent Cog a message at one point. He's like, can't see it. I'm like, damn.
Can he? No, I could see it. I couldn't respond.
Oh, you can't respond. Yeah, that's right.
I was like,
so now you can bring up your Xbox keyboard and type something back.
Nice.
Now, this is the one where I literally was recording my news video for my channel, and I was literally going, okay, text chat, cool, clear, text chat color, weapon crafting, added a consumable, and I stopped mid-sentence, and I went back and re-recorded because I couldn't, I have this take somewhere, but I was like, I re-recorded. I'm going, hold on. And I'm going to explain the rest of this. Added a consumable item that allows viewing of element counts. This it can be acquired through the relic conduit. It is not a limited item. You can discard and reacquire it any time. So we're getting rid of some of the currencies that we have. Travis is getting ready. We're losing some of the currencies that we have in season 17. We have this, like, the cap for neutral element went up by like 8%. And then we have these elements that we can't see all of them anywhere mostly. And now we're going to get a new consumable in our consumables inventory, which will allow you to see the amount of these elements that you have. If you've ever seen a Band-Aid for a weird situation, this is 100% a Band-Aid.
Y'all not feeling it? This is viable. Y'all don't think this is hot?
Travis gets dibs. I gotta give him
I'm
this
going to my
one.
dim, so I'm good.
What's up,
So there's two ways to interpret this message. One is they've created the most insane system to know how much currency you have ever. It'd be like checking your credit score. Like, you can do it, but you can't do it too often. Otherwise,
it's on a cooldown timer.
For the cooldown.
Yeah, it's got a cooldown timer.
You know
that would be the craziest thing ever. Or they just explained it weird, which is what I think is happening.
Mm-hmm.
And it's literally just a box that has the number, or has a number when you put your cursor over it.
Like
that's what
a mouse over type thing. Like
it might be a mouse over type thing, or it literally might just say the number like all the other consumables you have, or it just tells you the number. And they might have just described.
Do you want to know the
weird
weird thing is if you do get a red outline raid weapon, and it has a raid perk, you get what, like 12 drowned element.
Yeah.
But if you break down a raid weapon, you get a singular drowned element that actually goes in your consumable inventory. I've had drowned element is in two different places. One I can see, one I cannot. And I saw that the other day. I was like, oh, why because I saw 12. I was like, oh, let me go to consume. I still only have 4 of these. What the? That one just like broke my head. So just this one made me laugh. I put a tweet out later and I was like, this has to be, for one, you don't want to put like 6 items into the UI somewhere that are about to be gone in about 6 weeks. That would be not worth the effort. Okay. Neutral element is the one thing that is basically going to stay around.
Right.
Outside of the Ascendant Alloy, which is just going to have a horrible currency cap, and we're not ever going to be able to acquire it because it's too expensive. Anyway, but neutral element needs to find a permanent home somewhere, and maybe this is where this thing lives. But like neutral element, if that's like just the main crafting currency, throw it up there next to my legendary shards. I think I got space. They're pretty small numbers.
Imagine a world where they created 40 different consumables so that you can see all 40 different currencies.
That's just like, that's another tab over after consumables and then system settings. And then here you go into this trash fire and here's all your currencies.
I have a theory that the reason that they didn't bake in an easy way for you to see your consumables is because they planned on making 40 of them. And that there was no feasible way to represent that in the UI. So they were like, all right, we just, you know what I mean? And then they probably were like, oh, well, now that we cut down all the different currencies we're going to add, we'll just Band-Aid this solution. But it's crazy to me, man. The design on this game. I mean, I understand it's super hard. I have sympathy for Bungie, sometimes they do things I'm just like, guys, whoa, that's crazy.
This is the funniest thing. Like, you know what this reminded me of, E? Remember when the Dreamer City first came out? And we used to have to go to Petra and pop a tincture. I'm like, I feel like I'm popping a tincture to see the rest of the consumables in the world. Like, that's what this feels like. I'm like, what is going on? Why do I have to have a consumable to see stuff? Like, oh, I get it. It's cold, whatever. It's probably a temporary. I just think it's the funniest thing ever, though. Like, we literally gonna pop a consumable to see consumable.
Yeah, it is. I was like, this is a weird, and that's why I'm hoping with like neutral element being the one thing that stays around. I hope this situation is temporary. And trash fire on the inventory, those are like mean thing to say, but it is. You read through this and you're like, just literally a literal head scratching moment to go, huh? This is
Yeah.
This is what
thing.
this is and this is probably the fastest
doing.
thing they could put in the game.
Mhm.
It's just weird. Anyway,
I think they just explained it wrong. I think it'll have a number on the box that you can see without hovering over it.
That'd be nice.
I was like, then
You have more
why not
faith.
just put those elements into your consumable inventory then?
Ah,
I think that's what they did. Isn't that what it is? It's a consumable that lets you see the number.
That
View-
allows
yeah,
you
I
to
honestly
develop
just think they
element
explained
counts.
it poorly.
Yeah, it could
Yeah,
very well be.
It could be. Who knows?
I just the fact that we got to pop a tincture to see the counts. I think it's the funniest thing ever.
It's just funny.
Everybody drink your juice. So
I
you can
know.
see how
I
many-
don't think you have to use the consumable to see it. I think the consumable is going to display the number, and you're not actually going to use the consumable. I honestly just think they explained this badly.
Yeah, maybe.
I think
just
when
wording.
we see it, we might just go, "Oh yeah, that's just like every other consumable in your inventory."
Interesting.
So
The next one is weird. Players with all 25 artifact mods unlocked can still reset the artifact for no additional glimmer cost. Once all
Why?
25 exactly my question when I read this.
You got on what you resetting, fam?
The only
You
they
reason
got
just want
all
to
of
buy
it.
things.
the only
They just like
reason
to buy.
somebody said is if their triumph was bugged or something.
Oh,
But I was like, so but I was sitting there wondering, I was like, why would you ever do that? And then finally somebody said that like feels like you have them all. You're good. But the other point is like once all 25
won the
artifact
Game of
mods are
Thrones.
unlocked, once all 25 are unlocked, resets are free at that point. I'm like, can you just make them free, please? Stop charging for resets.
Yeah. We talked about
oh man, my chat will roast me. 'Cause
Really?
I used to reset like crazy.
that. Me too.
Like last season, I probably
Yeah.
reset like over 50 times.
Oh.
Yeah, bro, I'm bad. I'm bad. Me, no, bro, I'm with you. I'm like that. I feel like, damn, I should.
Shoot, I love making builds in this game. So
Me too.
Yeah.
and I'm glad that they made this change this season. Oof.
That was for us.
Yep.
Yep. I'm
Yeah, that
with you,
was-
bro.
But it was just, I was like, just make it free, please. It's not, you don't need
Oh
to
yeah,
charge.
I agree. They definitely should make that free. Just like
Yeah. Encourage build diversity. People want to play around, man. People want to see, and all the limits were getting annoying. You can only have 2 in the last slot.
Oh
and
yeah,
3
like,
in the,
and just like I was saying earlier, I love just testing stuff.
yeah. And so, let's be real. Sometimes you work that hard to get that stuff Blade, and sometimes you test it, be like, damn, this is whack. You be like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
be like, I did all this, and this
I tell
version
you all the
is
time, if I think something is doo doo, it's doo doo.
yeah, bro. It be times I'll be like, yo, this ain't as hot as it was described in the text. And then you find out about, obviously the particle deconstructions and the,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? All the fly stuff that you like, damn, I should have went with that. You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing. And, yeah. So I'm glad we're at that point.
Yep.
Give us everything. Let us,
Yeah,
let us
it's
pay.
a season. Like many people aren't ever going to unlock all of them. Don't charge them if they want to miss up if they don't play 24/7.
Correct.
Final thing in the TWAB is Mechs beat monsters by 4%.
Wow. It was close. It was
Oh, yeah.
close.
they act like
Team-X,
that was
we out
close,
here.
but that's pretty significant. I feel.
Yeah,
What do
I'm
you
shocked.
say? Team what?
I was Team Mac. Shoot,
Okay,
man.
okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
Mac.
man, get
Nice.
the monsters out of here. Like,
Agreed.
Even
I
though
was
the
like-
Warlock delegation mad at me
I
because
was
the
like-
Warlock monster was hot, but
No,
nah.
I was gonna say I like the 100 one. I was just like, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm looking like a Gundam. Oh yeah, get
Bro.
up. No.
Yeah, that was-
I'm
For
not
sure.
even a Titan, and I want to see Titans look like that.
Yeah, I was
Oh
like,
my god,
for
we're
my
finally
brother,
gonna have something to
yeah.
match our boots. Lion Rampart. So excited.
Oh, that is actually 100% true. That actually goes perfect with
Holy
it color.
Jesus, mind blown.
Yeah, didn't even think about that one. No, that one I had to go for my brother for Stonewolf. He is Gundam.
The wolf.
Like he grew up like I only know that Gundam exists because of him.
because
so
of him.
yeah, I definitely had to go Team Mech. I will
And
say
the hunters,
though,
go ahead.
like the Hunter Godzilla cloak, just
yeah, fire.
put it in the game.
Yeah.
Like you could sell both of these and they would probably sell even more, honestly. Like you could sell both of these and honestly I don't know why they don't do it. I can't get on board with the furry legs on the Titan. I would never buy that one for the Cyclops.
Mhm.
Warlock looks pretty cool. The Godzilla cloak the Godzilla cloak looks cool. But I was like, I don't see why it has to be a vote. I know he's like, oh, cool, like email engagement and stuff like that, but if you have
email engagement.
Shoot,
I don't have-
Warlock looking like a mini Frieza. Shoot, bro.
Frieza.
But-
Yeah. Let's go.
but honestly, like, yeah, I guess that's true for the for Warlock.
Mhm.
But I was like, you could totally I don't know. I just feel like you could sell both of them because I've never seen us that divided. I'd never seen it that close.
This was close.
We're
This was Team Monster was outside.
Well, I mean, they missed last time. They missed last
Yeah.
time, and they missed again. And I'm like, just let them have it.
I don't
Like-
think they'll ever win now because next year this set is going to be 3 years old versus the hot newness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, how does Monster win at this point? It might have won this year, but I think next year and every year after, if they keep putting it in,
Yeah, they
it's never going to win. 1 year they're just going to have to give it.
You don't
They
like
just
the
give it
furry
away.
gorilla boots?
No,
I hate the Cyclops.
no.
I actually
Titan one
really
is-
like the Cyclops, but
It's
as a
thick
monster,
out
but
here.
I hate the way it looks on the Titan.
Yeah, I don't like that look. Warlock, creature from the Black Lagoon, Godzilla. The
Mhm.
cloak is fire. Titan looks
Yeah,
like
that all looks
just,
cool.
Harry and the Hendersons
Mhm.
over here. So I don't know how many people are old enough to even know that movie.
I know about
Of course,
that.
it's a classic.
Classic.
So that is mostly
Get out
what
of
we
here.
got for the Cyclops from Sinbad. That's mostly what we got. We got raid rotators coming in season 17, season 19 possible rework to Gambit. Got a new dungeon next season, raid in 18, dungeon in 19, Lightfall
Ooh.
coming, and hopefully before Lightfall, weapon crafting is in a better place.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah,
And Ark and Solar
I'm definitely
redesign.
excited about the whole raid rotation because that's been asked by a lot. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
for
gonna
a
be
long
busy
time.
working, huh? You're gonna be busy sure.
You're going to be carrying everybody everywhere. Be like, what do you want to do?
Oh,
I want to
yeah,
play the whole game.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what I do anyway. I mean I just be vibing, and riding from with like Mr. Amazing himself, or I'm
Oh, the
myself.
homie. That's the homie right there. Salute.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I have like my pal Ray Nathan inside the chat, or
Rainy.
mm-hmm.
Well,
But yeah, I just be vibing, I just be gaming. So
nice. Well, that is, I
What's up,
think,
bro?
about all we got. Nice little 2-hour show. So, Sabe, at this point, we always like to open the floor to you to kind of tell you where people can find you and stuff like that. Before you say that stuff, I just wanted to thank you for coming on the show. It was our pleasure to have you, somebody with your grandmaster and just in-game expertise that you've been at for quite a while. Just very happy to have you on here, and hopefully you had a good time on the show. But at this point,
oh yeah.
let everybody know where they can find you, chat with you, hit you up in Twitter's, Twitch, wherever they at. This is your
Oh,
time
yeah,
to
yeah.
give
They-
all
they-
the
they-
socials.
Oh yeah. You can find me over like Twitter and Twitch over at SabeTheBlade, with just getting you two all sorted out. I do have like some vids there, some solos and stuff, but I am that's something I've been on the side doing, honestly.
Nice.
Just learning my way inside that space. So but yeah.
Where's the channel at? What's the Twitch? What's
I was
going
like,
on?
what's
where we
where,
at?
where do they
Where can
find you?
find
What's the
Oh yeah. I said Twitch and Twitter
Save the Blade?
at SabeTheBlade. Yeah.
All right.
Save
I just want to make sure. You know what I'm saying? We got to send them to the right place, man.
Yeah, if you
don't get shy now with his advertising.
Yeah, if you need a Sherpa who can clutch up all on his own, try to not die. But
Salute.
just know this man is gonna clutch up.
Yeah, now salute to you, say, man. And again, what you do for community. And I think your story kind of resonated with me personally because, I know what it feels like to,
yeah.
yo, you no galley, must have 15 clears. And you know the LFG vibe, bro, right?
Lord, I literally mean those people. Because like even then, like most days I still do use LFG at very rarely, but when I do and I see them post, I just like, oh, just bring this.
Yep, screenshot. Yeah. I feel you, bro, because it's a part of the community that it really ostracizes a lot of people, that it prevents people from wanting to try some of Destiny's best content. So the fact that you had that experience.
I mean, especially I've been like all alone and stuff like that. Like, I mean, I know what it takes to like, do things solo and stuff like that. And, me doing all this solo stuff teaches me how to like, just like take others through without them like requiring them much. Because my goal again is to make sure they're having a good time when I'm helping them. So
that's love, no, brother. That's love. I love that stuff, and it brings people together, and you give people a positive experience. And some people get really emotional because it's a game that it is the friend game, and you really do need people to help you with. You can't solo everything sometimes. So what you're doing, salute to you in the movement. Salute to the Sherpas out there. I'm very appreciative of Sherpas in my clan. We got Back for Dead. We got DJ. We got Forte, Black Iron Man in there. I see the whole crew.
Yo, DJ is Sherpa.
DJ's the man. Like that's listen, that's the bestie right there. Tell you right now.
He's more like a shepherd than a Sherpa. But
damn. Okay. Don't do my man like that. Don't do my man like that. But nah, salute, man. I got love for you and what you do and what that means to the community. So thanks for coming on. You know what I'm saying? So what else is going on, Trav, with you and E with you? What's going on with y'all?
Can you tell us anything you're doing, Travis, or is it all
Yes, the embargo is technically up on one of the things I'm working on. Most of the stuff is still in the dark, but I reviewed a game. The review will be live on Monday morning. It's called Postal 4 No Regrets. It is a sequel to a very old game. Technically, it's a sequel to Postal 2, which was hailed as the worst game of all time. And this is a follow-up to that, and it is worse than that game. So I can't talk score yet. I'm still under embargo for final impressions. So I'll give you my early impressions. You should not play this game, and I wish I did not play it. That's my early impression.
Early impression.
There's a little break you off a preview of the remix there. So that's how I've been spending a little bit of my time this last week.
I'm sorry.
Postal is still around, New Rad. It's terrible and offensive and ruined my week. And my girlfriend isn't talking to me because she has to watch me play it. So that's that.
The game that broke a relationship. Next,
she's in Texas now. That's all I can say. She's not here. So,
she's in my state. We'll go have
she's
dinner.
In your
it's fine.
state.
Yeah.
Did you just say you're gonna swoop on my girl?
I said we're gonna go have dinner so my wife can meet your girl. My wife can meet your girl before she meets you.
I'm just joking. Texas gonna take care of what San Francisco can.
Oh God! Jeez.
Get him, E. Go ahead, Shaun. Go on, player. Go ahead, player.
That's okay. I think she'll come running back when she gets a taste of that unseasoned meat. And I mean that in as many ways.
There's so much connotation there, and I'm going to leave that alone.
And I mean all of it. This week do. Also, you can find me on.
Hey, there's no stakes with A1 down here, so you're fine.
You know how them Texas boys pull up.
She likes sauce, okay? I can tell you. She's a lady of refinement.
Steak sauce.
Earth sauce.
That's the one.
This segment went left. Blade is like, what is going on?
All right. So you can also find me on a little show called Defining Duke. I was on one of the Colin Last Stand shows this week to talk about fair pay in freelance, and specifically a tweet that a lot of people got up in arms about because IGN's offered jobs for $20 news stories, which is a fair rate and which I thought was absurd that people were freaking out about. So if you want to see why I thought it was absurd, you can watch that interview. And I'm right, I guess is the short version, but you should watch it. It's a good discussion. And that's me. You can follow me on Twitter. That's
Travis, me. I'm right.
That's me. I'm right about everything. Of course.
Thank you. So, everyone have a good night tonight.
Have a good night. Don't forget to tip your waiter. E, what do you got going on?
Well, Cog first. You gotta go
first.
Yeah, bro. Again, shout out to man SabeTheBlade pulling up. Fun show. For me, Defining Duke is in full swing. We've been rocking, you know what I'm saying? So we had the thank you, brother. Major episode that dropped off. So check that out for the Patreons. Obviously, Travis pulled up in rare form. Great, intelligent freelance discussion. Loved it. And ILP this week, this Sunday is the Lord's Day. We'll still be pulling up. For me right now, it's all about PAX. The PAX is next week. So just been booking appointments, travel, the whole thing. And there's a part of me that misses it. There's a part of me that misses going to a convention. There's a part of me I tell people all the time, like, as much as I love the podcast and people say I'm good at podcasting, my favorite thing in the world is actually talking to developers right on the release of a game. And it's almost like that indie release album before anybody knows what's about to happen. And I got some really cool content and stuff, and all the Lords will be there. So if anyone is in the Boston area, PAX East next week, the Lords will be there pull up. And yeah, man, we're going to do a lot of coverage. And also, Maddie's going to be there. So the Dukes will be there and the Lords will be there.
Nice.
So you get to see all of us at PAX East in Boston. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. What about you, E? What's going on? Nice guides going on. What's popping with you in the channel?
Yeah, just keeping up. The Nightfall this week is worth doing a little bit. For one, easiest Nightfall that we've like had in a while since it's Arms Dealer. We all know it like the back of our hand. Duty Bound has some very unique perk combinations. Literally can get triple tap and 4th times the charm and probably never reload. Amongst some other ones that are just fun. So Duty Bound.
What gun is that?
Duty Bound.
Duty
It's back
Bound?
from.
Okay.
It used to be in Savathun's song.
Yes.
So you got that one. The chat is off the rails tonight. You guys are killing me. Blackwing said something I can't even repeat right now.
I
Ty
loved
Guy
it.
laughed at it. It's
Please
amazing.
do it.
It was
Please do
great.
it.
I was like,
Please
we're
do it.
late enough in the show, and it was Ty Guy sauce, and I said that's only for his girl. So getting a little after dark here. Make sure and drink your guys' advanced GG.
Listen, man.
And next week, make sure you guys tune in. We are going to have live Mondo. A friend of mine that I've known for a while in the YouTube world. He does a lot of solo stuff and guides for it, and just small channel but underappreciated guy, has been doing solo stuff. And the reason I say tune in because DMG tweeted during the show, Blackwings tagged me in it.
What?
The TWAB, let's start on the 421, next week's TWAB, early.
Mhm.
Oh, geez, wait, what? That's a single section, nothing else. I still have more topics to get info on. 5,600 words for one topic.
Can you say what topic
Ooh.
was?
5,600 words for one topic on the TWAB, and he's not done with the TWAB. It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
always do these
another
big
nail
talks
biter.
when I go to
I
PAX.
bet it's PvP. I hope so.
Oh, yeah, you're going to be gone
Yeah.
next week. Yeah, we got to do a show, so.
It's going to
might
be
have to
about
do a remote
it's
in.
going to be about them finally figuring out the technical issues and adding all those currencies.
50 currencies.
So-
That's why it's 5,600 words explaining each currency.
I want to say matchmaking. Who we?
That would be an interesting discussion if we get into PvP. So, weapons TWAB, that's
Yeah.
potentially part of it too. So,
Okay.
Mhm.
but yeah, for me, streaming Elden Ring, a lot of that still in kind of the variety times. And then I don't know if I'm going to do Master Raid. I think we might try it. I don't know if we're going to do a ton though. There you go. We can call Teddy in for the fill. We'll see.
Yeah.
Get a fill in. But yeah, just you guys know me. Destiny and Elden Ring is pretty much all I'm playing right now. Well, that's basically it. Shout out to you guys. Remember, use code Ebontis or Iron Lords if you're picking up some advanced GG. Stay tuned. Got some fun stuff on the horizon there. Can't say anything yet. Just keep your eyes peeled. And other than that, Sabe, again, thank you for basically being patient with all of us being ridiculous today. But thank you for also for joining us on the show. It was a
No,
pleasure.
I'd rather be respectful and let you guys get y'all stuff out and before I say bye. So it's always good to hang out here.
Absolutely.
Love.
Although we're from the Weapons Sandbox team, to clarify. So good to know.
Ooh.
So yeah,
okay.
sandbox patch and Cog's gonna miss it. He misses the sandbox.
Nah, we're gonna figure something out. Remember, I remoted in one time.
That's true.
but I was-
We're gonna get
one
this
of our-
guy in
that
a
was one of our
hotel.
best shows.
He's gonna have a
Yeah.
hotel room. Yeah, that was the Trials
Mhm.
relaunch. That was crazy.
Yep.
So thank you all very much for being here. Episode number 193. 200 is not that far away, and I'm working something for 200. Got a couple different ideas if we can get 200 to be a nice spicy milestone. The week after 200, if things stay on track, is going to be GCX. So GCX, June 11th and 12th is an off week for the show
Yeah.
for sure. If we do
Yes.
record anything, it would be local for fun, and then we might post it later. But I'm going to be at GCX. Cog going to be at GCX. Travis, you...
And Travis is gonna be at G6. I said he's gonna be at G6.
I'm gonna be there.
Travis is going to be at GCX. If you guys are going
I'm
to
gonna be
GCX
there,
in Florida,
GCX.
we will
I'm
be
gonna hang
there.
out with
Florida.
Teddy.
Teddy.
And I are sharing a hotel room. So it should be
Nice.
Salute.
Yeah,
DJ's in there, Back for Dez in there. We're trying to get
Yeah.
Forte coming through. GCX.
GCX is going to be a lot of fun. So if you're going to that one, look us up. I'm probably going to be wearing like an Ebontis shirt.
Yeah.
I'm actually debating on work. I'll talk to you guys afterwards. I'm working on shirt ideas. So
Okay. Get my
Any necktie
drip.
ideas.
Something.
Drip on location.
yeah,
You better
on,
do that
on location show. Yeah,
Blade,
we'll
you
see.
pulling up? What's up, man? You coming to Florida?
You going to
What's going on?
GCX?
Going to GCX, man? What's up?
I can't this year.
Oh, sorry.
I wanted to-
Sherpa,
I
the
wanted to
Sherpa got
go,
left off the
but
mountain.
I had some IRL complications to where I
I feel
couldn't
you.
go.
Well,
I feel you.
we will.
It happens.
We
It
will know,
almost
we will
happened to
know
me
you're
too.
there in spirit. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like, and depending on E3 and stuff, like we almost missed
Mhm.
both of these guys. So
Yeah.
it's kind of barely come together. But thank you guys very much. If you guys are in chat, make sure you follow all of these amazing people. Ty Guy Travis, go blow up the IGN articles. Make sure his do well, nothing else.
No, just his.
Iron Lords podcasts. Make sure and listen to that one. Last Stand Media and Sabe. Go follow him on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. Hang out in the streams, blow him up. Ultra nice guy. And if you need a good Sherpa and a nice Sherpa, he is your guy.
Yes, sir.
For this episode,
Sherpa
number
is.
193, April 14th, we are wrapping this thing up. So as we always do, it has been
The
last
last
word.
word.
You.
You did it.
We did it.
All right, everybody. Have a good one. We're out. We'll see you soon. You always have to try and steal the last word, Cog, don't you?
Yeah. You hate
I
it.
wait till after.
I
we
love
say
that you
my
hate
money.
it, so I keep doing it. I gotta annoy you sometimes. Let me know when you want to stop the recording.
Oh, you guys can stop.
All right, cool.
Oh, right.